The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he did it. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Speaking of, the whole world's coming together now. Yeah. Wait, who are you? Who are you? You're Jason Ross.
That's me.
I'm Carmichael Dave.
Hi. I know you.
Hey, we're a full strength program today. Hold on, this happened while you were gone. Hey, Chris. All right. No, Chris is no.
Yeah, he's having a morning already.
Is he?
Yeah.
You know, so they might. I don't know if this is what he's dealing with, but they migrated the servers again.
It's not that.
It's not that? Oh, God. So we've been struggling all week with trying to find where, just for those of you all listening, and everybody who's up at 6 a.m. is probably getting really tired of hearing this because I've led the show with this every morning. Can't find anything. He's had to come in here, right? And it's not here. One day it was in podcasts. So, and you already know you have to click 900 times. And for those of you going, just create a shortcut. Well, we've done that. We've done that. So it looks like he's got most of our, when we do leading off, we play a clip for each segment. And he's got 2 of the 3 here. But then we also have what's called our World of Sports. It's our daily audio dump that comes down. So if we're going to play like, later on today, I want to play Tori Lavillo talking about Ketel Marte, what happened yesterday. So that would be in here. Well, I go in there and, oh, hey, look, it's from 2 days ago. Now, I don't know if that's because sometimes they don't download it for us or if we just can't find it. So, honestly, my daily audio is almost completely, like, I like how they can't look at your Twitter likes anymore. They're hidden from the public. Those people.
Oh.
Yeah. But honestly, if you did look at my Twitter likes, they would be so random because they're almost all sound clips because I just play that through here. Anyways, that happened. At 6:44, we have a Welcome Back Jason segment for sports and things that you not missed, but you weren't here for. But you have been gone. You took a much deserved vacation.
Yeah.
I spoke to you. I told Chris yesterday, I FaceTime with you out in New Orleans and saw the downpour.
Yeah. And a few minutes after that was probably in my life the loudest thunderclap I've ever heard.
Really?
Loudest.
Like how they are in a movie where you see the lightning and then bang,
like
right away.
Like that.
Right.
And it like the people that live there that experience this all the time, like, whoa.
Really?
Like a little bit of a, oh.
Uh-huh.
And like everybody was good. Nobody heard anything. That was pretty nasty. And then I think I sent you a picture later. Yeah, look.
Yeah, it was fine.
Time to go in the pool
you
again.
said it had, while we were on the phone, it started.
Yeah.
And that's when you said, I got to FaceTime you. And then, I don't know, 10 minutes after we hung up, you said it's going to be done in a half an hour.
Yeah, and it was. Yeah. But it just comes through it. Yeah. Anyway, that was one of the things.
Any doggies on Prime? I'm curious how the doggies do.
2 little tiny dogs. They were fine. I mean, I guess they're used to it. I don't know.
My dog would not.
Yeah.
would not be having it.
Yeah.
I didn't get too in detail because that's your private family business out there. But I did say it was just what you were showing me was like the coolest setup ever. Just acreage, beautiful pool, sprawling home, but the pots that you showed me, that were filled with crawfish and crab and boil,
yes,
and all that, and then
like industrial, like stuff you just, I don't know where they got them.
Well, they're restaurant royalty.
Yeah, and we use we've done a few here, crab boils and stuff, and we think we do a good job or whatever, and we'll use like a size of maybe like a turkey fryer pot.
Okay,
which is the biggest one we have, which is a good size pot.
Sure.
I would say that size pot is maybe a quarter of the size of the pot, and pots,
Right.
like plural, that they have just stuff boiling in.
And so I didn't ask when we were on the phone, but it occurred to me later. I'm thinking for pots that size, I think probably the only option is they had to have like portable propane burners outside.
Yeah.
They weren't like throwing it on a campfire or a stove. You got to have real fire underneath.
Yeah,
that.
they had just base, like this square base thing that they could put that on, and then the propane tank, and then the fire, and yeah, they were all sorts of. And that wasn't even that was an impromptu. That side of the family, more of the cooking royalty side of the family, family get together. So I would say very, very small on that one, even though it was, I don't know, 70 people, 50 people. But the other side of the family had the family reunion. So
sure,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it was.
I just love, I mean, first off, you know that you and I both have especially you have a huge affinity for New Orleans and the people in the area. Secondly, I'm a huge, people always have fun with how much we talk about food.
Yes.
I'm a huge believer that food is, it can be the glue of a family, of it is a bonding experience. Everyone's sitting. Maybe this is just middle-aged dad, but everybody's sitting around the table laughing, eating, enjoying themselves. And so for you to have that, oh, hey, who's cooking? Oh, Fred's cooking. Oh, Fred owns like 9 restaurants in town. Like to have that type, and not that you have to be that person to be able to cook,
right? But
just to have that normalcy where you get to that is just such a blessing.
Well, I mean, and you like to cook. I actually like to cook. And then when you're like, well, I mean,
right,
I'll sit over here in the corner. Right. I mean, as much as I'd like to help, I think I can, but I'm like, no, I'm not. I can admit it. I'll eat it. I'll just eat your food.
I don't know how I would probably be the most annoying relative because I would just want to stand in the corner and watch.
Who's the creep over there?
I'm just sitting there ogling.
Why'd you bring him?
But it truly is a second cousin, maybe a first cousin to. I have a chance to watch batting practice.
Right.
I have a chance to watch these guys in spring training, fielding and doing these. What can I pick up? What can I see? And just admiring. Like I'll watch these shows sometimes, and I look at their knife skills. Like when they're cutting an onion, it's like and I'm like, dude, I would lose a finger.
Right.
I have no idea how they do that.
Yeah, and then it's probably like every family that if like, okay, you're you have a famous singer in your family, like but Dave's the one that can really sing.
Right. Like, wait, what?
And so I mean, they're chefs, and they're like, but you know who the best cook is? You're like,
how is that?
What? But I think it's sure. It's in all of them, and there was a lot of eating going on. And by the way, I brought you something.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I brought you all of the crab.
Yes. You did bring one of those big pots.
I brought you and Chris. This will hopefully make Chris's day better.
I hope so. He's having a bad day so far. Poor Chris. Oh, boy. I just said that, and the look he gave me, it wasn't a mean look. The look he gave me, I want to describe this right. It was the look of somebody who just finished round 9 of having his fingernails ripped out in hell.
Yeah.
It was a look of pained exhaustion and just kind of giving up.
And I think there's more. Like it doesn't sound like round 9 ended it.
Oh wow.
Would you like number 1 or number 2?
I'll leave that to you because I love them both.
Okay. Let's pick a number 1.
Give me number 1.
Okay. They're the same.
Yeah, they're okay.
It's a frisbee.
I'm so excited.
It's a muffalata.
It is a muffalata?
Without the dressing. Because
wait, is it really a muffalata?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were joking. It's a muffalata.
Picked them up yesterday. It should be all good to go. Just not.
They're so nice and cool.
But the only thing I didn't do was because I knew that wouldn't. It's soggy.
No.
So you can add Italian dressing or whatever.
Why'd I rip it open then? Huh?
I don't know.
Because I want to eat it right now.
Well, eat it. Okay. Eat the whole. Can you finish that by the end of the show? No way.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I will not. Oh my God. Let me see. Let me make sure people can see.
Chris, you have one in here too.
Oh, look at it. Look at the bun. Look at how perfect that is.
So I think it honestly isn't the dressing like Italian, just like Italian. I know they probably do a little more.
So
are
you talking about? So there's
I forget what they call
there's
it,
an olive tapenade or olive salad that goes on there,
and they packed it separate. I said we're going on a trip.
Oh,
They're like,
my
well, this is how we'll
God.
pack it, and they put it in like those styrofoam. I'm like, that I'm gonna spill that. Like, so I just
that's actually a really good
and
idea.
it's gonna stay better.
You're right. It
It's
would have
not
gotten
soggy.
completely soggy. I can't believe you brought us back muffle. Chris, is your day is better, right? It's got to be better. Yeah, he's like, yeah, it is. I'm still getting my fingernails ripped out, but that makes it better. Thank you.
You
There,
didn't have to open it to prove it.
I know I was gonna eat it, but
Oh.
then yeah, I'll tape it.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the fridge. There is no photo that I could send to my wife that would turn her on more than this muffaletta. Literally in the world. Nothing.
Set the screen.
Oh, what about that guy Thor naked? Nope.
What about Thor naked holding?
Okay,
Muffaletta?
all right. Actually, that
Okay.
would, yes. But depending on where he's holding it.
Covering Thor.
Never mind. Yeah. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
That is fantastic. 2 entire muffaletta. And that's not easy to bring on a plane either. I mean,
Yeah,
did you have to roll it through security?
We were kind of embarrassing on the plane last night.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we had
Just
I've never
hammered.
seen this bag before, but
Uh-huh.
one of our cousins gave us it was Sam's Club, but it was like a over the shoulder bag, but it's insulated. And then we had, I think there were more of these. They, broke up at all the crab and crawfish, which there was so much of it, like 30 pounds. But the meat that it renders is like,
Sure,
that's
yeah,
it. That's what
right,
you guys were doing
yeah,
for the last 3
yeah.
hours. Fried chicken. I don't know. There's just
Oh my God. That's so great.
jambalaya. Yeah, there's hot sausage. Yeah, a lot of stuff.
You just set off a whole chain of events, which
Yeah.
is just the best. So I'm meeting Mel for Mel and some friends. We're gonna play around today around 11.
Nice.
Yes, and I already knew
Will
what
that
was.
make it all the way home? Are you going home?
Oh, I'm going home first
Okay,
to
there you
put
go.
this in. This is like I might rent an armored truck to bring this home. This is now the center of the day.
Yeah.
I knew what we were going to have for dinner tonight, but that's out the window now. So here's the plan. I'm going to go home, go play golf, and then go straight to the store. We're going to get stuff for all of Tapenade. And then
There
I
you go.
think
Make your
we'll
own.
just do a New Orleans style thing. We'll do some, I don't know, we'll do some shrimp jambalaya or something.
Split that in 4 and
Red
then
bean-
whatever
yes,
else.
split that in 4.
beans and
Kids are going to, oh my God. 'Cause we got-
Concentrate po' boys.
we got the whole family
Yeah.
addicted to muffaletta. So
There you
thank
go. Yeah. So that the funny thing is, it's in this cold bag or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and I had to. We weren't checking that because we don't want this
Sure,
food to be
yo.
gone. So I remember putting it up over the bin last night. I smell the chicken.
Oh, that's
Was this smelling up the plane? Or I don't know.
Hey, you know what though? It's not a bad smell.
Yeah.
Or is
Well, I
that?
didn't know if the seafood. I didn't smell
Yeah.
the seafood. It was
Oh,
wrapped.
that's
so,
the one you worry about.
Yeah.
You don't want the whole plane smelling of seafood.
Yes. So at least it was purchased yesterday before we got on the plane. So yeah, it's not even.
That's so
24 hours
great.
old.
Well, and thank your wife for us too.
Yeah.
I know she had something to do with that.
Well, no, we didn't. These aren't family. This isn't the
No.
restaurant.
I'm
This is
just saying in the idea and having to lug it and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I was hoping one of these days you'd bring me back a snowball, but
no chance that would be.
imagine that.
Yeah.
You
Gosh,
get-
those are so good.
And how many did you have there?
By
By the way, just to be clear,
40.
because I'm aware of Urban Dictionary, a snowball is basically like shave ice in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Kinda.
and the way they have these special, I don't know, but they're not like if anybody's been to the fair here and the ice is
Yeah.
clunky and it just melts. It's so thin.
Sure.
They have special ice machines that it doesn't even. And I wouldn't want to call it. It's closer to an icy consistency.
Okay.
But they put so much of the syrup or the liquid of the fruit, whatever it is, it doesn't dry out.
And didn't you say your favorite is it's something with evaporated milk
You
on
can
it?
put condensed milk in
Condensed
it. I mean,
milk.
there's people put ice cream,
Sure.
people it's just whatever
They
mixed
put ice
flavors.
cream on it?
You can, yeah.
Ice cream on it. Wow.
Or it's in the middle and it's around that. Yeah, it's just
Ooh.
people get creative with
Especially when it's 90 and
it. Oh, just toaster oven.
It's-
I was hoping because we usually go July or August. I go maybe June will be. No, it
No.
was just
it was
furnace. I mean, highs of I don't know if it ever got to 90. It was just so humid. 88,
Yeah.
low of 79 or low of 82. Like it just was the same temperature all day.
and God, those nights have just got to be thick.
Yeah, thick, and then again, like the rain will cool it for just a little bit, and then it's just steamy coming.
I've never been there at that time of year, but I would imagine, especially when you're in an area that has acreage,
Mhm.
the smell though when you walk outside is
Yeah.
just awesome.
Yeah,
Just the grass and I don't know how to describe it. That warm, wet summer, whatever. Throw some Creedence Clearwater Revival on, sit on a chair, drink some sweet tea.
Yeah.
The one thing I always think about with you, and then we'll hit leading off. The one thing I always think about with you is that it is an you make the best of it, but it is an interesting conundrum when you take into account your wife's family and culinary royalty in New Orleans, which is probably the greatest food city in the country, and all the things that go with it, these crab and crawfish boils, blah, 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 blah. And you're allergic to that. It's just.
But I think I got the best scam because usually, and now everybody's like, oh, we brought this for Jason. We brought this for.
Oh, yeah.
And they go, sorry, and it might be like a pot in this size.
Yeah.
Well, for one, that's
massive.
Like, that's more food than you guys are having.
And you're getting like the specialty dishes. You're like the vegan at the meat party.
And I don't ask for it. I'm like, there's always, I can eat all sides.
Salad. I don't know.
Potato salad, jambalaya they make it sometimes with or without shrimp. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. Fried chicken, whatever. Yeah. Food for days. Someone made, I think you asked me the other day, and I think I said, I couldn't remember if I told you this when you said the best thing you ate. There's the Dookie Chase restaurant, which we went by yesterday, but the other restaurant is Chapter 4. We went there a couple times, and man, some of the stuff they had, this ribs that they made, and
really
the grits are so creamy, but
grits.
Yeah. So good. But someone in the family made this homemade praline that I don't know. I think was sugar and then maybe a little bit of baked and melted sugar.
Covered with powdered sugar. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Like, this is so sweet, but so good.
I'm sure they do, but, like, why do they not have pralines out here?
I think they do.
Do they? But they're just, like, lame.
Yeah.
They're, like, great value pralines.
Right.
Why do they not sell, like, why can't I go to Walmart and get, like, a box of pralines? They're so good.
They are. And I think it's all sugar.
I think you're 100% right. Because it looks like it's like, oh, is that chocolate? Is that caramel?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
And then,
nope, it's sugar.
And it's usually, like they're just usually made pretty small. You're like, that's a lot, but like one just.
You're 100% right.
I feel so good.
Yeah, and you're thinking, sometimes I'll get them there, and my eyes say, oh God, I want more than this, and then I can't finish it.
Like, no, this is good.
I am
the right amount.
Very glad I'm not diabetic because I would be in trouble. All right, well, welcome back. We have a big show planned for you today. Yes, a lot of things going on. It's draft day.
Did I get traded?
We'll talk about that at 6:44. In the meantime, Christopher, if you would please, leading off cut number 1.
Let's do it. Leading off the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
The Celtics trade Drew Holiday to Portland, and the process of getting under the second apron and out of this financial situation that they've been in, almost $500 million in the tax bill and overall salaries. The Celtics have traded Kristaps Porzingis to the Atlanta Hawks, and Terrence Mann, a number 22 overall pick, goes to Brooklyn in a 3-team trade that's in Georges Niang and a future second-round pick to Boston. And for the Hawks and the Nets, this is really an opportunistic opportunity to go get Terrence Mann if you're Brooklyn, and for Atlanta to get a dynamic big man like Porzingis. Yeah, but this is really about the Celtics. We're seeing a championship team in 2024 now starting to dismantle to an extent because they were so deep into luxury tax. This now gets them $180 million of savings in these moves.
An opportunistic opportunity is the best. Sham Sharania talking about Kristaps Porzingis. More like Kristaps Rich Zingis. Welcome back, Jason. We missed you.
Why Rich Zingis?
He has a lot of money. He's not poor. He's got a ton of cash. He's Rich Zingis. Tingus Pingus.
Sounds familiar, Jason.
Have to remind me.
Did I steal that?
Do not tell the Kings coach about that.
Yes.
Do not tell. Really?
Mm-hmm.
What?
He was not amused.
When you,
this whole byplay happened on the show in the afternoon once with Chris, and I was going with Chris on this, and Doug. And Doug, I think, was ready to probably punch both of us.
I feel like, though, well, with Chris mainly, that's like that was a daily occurrence where Doug wanted to punch Chris almost.
Yeah, so maybe it was more me because I kept the game going.
He didn't expect
but I was
that.
pretending like I didn't get it, and then Doug was like, "What's the matter with you
Oh,
guys?"
please find the audio if you can. Well, now you guys tell me that. Now the next time I talk to Doug, the Boston Celtics on June 15th, which was just 10 days ago. This is according to our friend Bobby Marks. Projected salary and luxury tax of $540 million. Today, their projected salary and luxury tax, $280 million. That's a lot less. That's almost half.
New ownership is cheap.
Right? And it's funny. We'll talk about this today because they do have new ownership. Speaking of new ownership, by the way, Mark Lowry and Alex Rodriguez were approved yesterday officially. They are officially now the owners of the Timberwolves. And what a great deal, because from the time they agreed to buy the team and then all the legal wrangling, I think they agreed to buy it for like $1.5 billion. It's worth like double now or something. Yeah, they did quite well. It's interesting what the Celtics are doing, and we'll talk about this later. They're like taking a gap year, it seems. Like they're going, okay, we're not going to pay $500 million to basically have no chance without Jason Tatum for a championship. And look, I'm not, Jason, I'm not trying to disrespect at all, not just Kristaps, but mainly Drew Holiday. But I don't want to say they're both replaceable, but of the pieces you would trade, I feel like that's going to have the least impact, and they saved $250 million.
Yeah, I felt like they sold low, though, on Porzingis. Like, that was just a dump to me, in the sense of, like, hey, this is to get us under that apron that you're talking about and save some money. Also, look, he'd been injured and had health issues, like other literal health issues, not the injury issues, where he was having trouble breathing.
Yes.
In the playoffs. So
something weird.
Yeah, very weird. But yeah, I don't know. I also feel like Brad Stevens also may not be done. Not in the sense of like this was what they needed to do financially, but Simons doesn't necessarily even feel like the right fit to me for them. So could they turn him around? I mean, who knows? I think there's just some options that they may have.
Brad Stevens is one of the better GMs in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm trying to find, because I forgot it, what the trade was when Porzingis was first traded originally from the Knicks.
To Dallas?
To Dallas. They're doing a timeline here. But, okay, here we go. Kristaps Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, and Trey Burke to Dallas. For Wes Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, and a first-round pick. God, that's not great.
Even at the end of all of that, like what Dallas got out of him, that's just a whole lot of blah.
That really, really is.
Huh.
Let's see. Dallas trades. I think it's kind of fun for Porzingis. Let me see here. The Mavericks traded Porzingis and a protected second-round pick to the Wizards for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans.
Okay. And then I think the last one was for Marcus Smart.
Yes, you're correct. Interesting. You're right about Porzingis. And I mean, this is a salary thing, obviously. Yeah. He's making a lot of money, and he didn't play a lot of games. And he had that health issue. You said you have the audio? Okay, so I said Rich Zingas because I was being stupid. And apparently this is something that's happened before. Former KHTK and current head coach of the Sacramento Kings, along with you and Chris. Doug Christie is on this tape. Let's hear it, please.
3 years at
it's what I say. Not almost. It's one. Well, if you do all the math there, it's 100
and more,
and a little change.
More like Rich Zingas. Instead of poor Zingas.
Oh, I see what you did there, Chris.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
Because he's not poor, he's rich, but his last name is Poor. So I said change it from poor to rich instead of poor.
Chris, he really got it, but he was saying he didn't get it. You didn't.
Because he's not poor Zingas anymore. He's rich Zingas.
So that means because he has money now?
Yeah. That makes him rich Zingas and no longer poor Zingas.
I think I'm getting it. Got it?
No.
See, it's rich because he's making a bunch of money, so it's rich Zingas instead of poor Zingas when he's making no money.
But since he's making money, he's what?
Rich Zingas.
I broke it.
Okay.
Are you guys okay?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would pay $10 on pay-per-view just to have a camera isolated on Doug's face the whole time as steam started coming off that bald
He
head.
wasn't angry.
No?
It was just like
Why are you guys still doing this?
disappointment.
I'm not mad. I'm just
Like we
disappointed.
just bummed him out.
I think there was a chance it could still keep going if
I think we should pick that back up next. Oh my God. Next time he comes on, let's actually lead off with, by the way, Porzingis is going to start his new blah, 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 and then have Chris chime in and just go round the horn and see how long till Doug says something.
Hello?
Hey, Doug,
Coach?
did you get that?
Coach? He's gone.
Shocking news. Head coach of the Sacramento Kings, Doug Christie, has resigned.
I can only imagine him getting done with the show, going down in the parking lot, and just absolutely peeling out, driving away, leaving everybody else behind, angry, upset, and just that drive home. It was like in Rocky IV. It's my second. I'm trying to cue you. There we go. It's been a tough day. It's been
started.
Huh?
We just started.
I want to tell you about my friends at Hoblet. You don't have to be Rich Zingas to shop there. I get it because he's rich. Also, by the way, sorry for stealing that joke. Yeah. Look, Hoblet's got everything going on right now for their 4th of July celebration. Let's talk, as always, about let's go behind the steering wheel, if you will. When it comes to my friends over there. Oh, by the way, it just occurred to me, Jason. So during the break, I'm going to go downstairs and put this in the fridge. And I'm just going to say it right now. You know, they have workplace things where people, if somebody touches this, I will. I'm just saying it right now. If I go to court, I will murder somebody. But I
put it in this one.
What one?
The one by the back corner microwave by your
That doesn't really stay that cold though.
Oh, okay. Put it
just if they, I will kill. I will absolutely. I will come back the next day with the same sandwich, but I will load it up with so much X-Lax, and then I'll just get a camera ready. I don't even care. Anyways, back to Hoblet. Family owned and operated. They want your business now. They want your business in the future. They want your kids' business. They want their your grandkids' business, which is why when other dealers are marking up MSRP or just staying at MSRP, Hoblet's going lower. Like it's like limbo, but for cheap deals, and not just on the janky brown car nobody wants. No, the best and the brightest of your Ram trucks, of your brand new Jeeps, and everything they have in stock, like over 400 Ram trucks to choose from, which is why they're the number 3 Ram truck dealer in the United States, number 1 in California. The price you see is the price you pay. No hidden fees, no add-ons, no surprises. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. And tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. We'll take a break when we come back, safe or out. And this thing happened with Ketel Marte last night that makes me want to barf. We'll talk about it next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks.
If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now. Priority Tax Relief. Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more.
if you're that team and you look it up and you see who it is and you go, okay, here's your money back, dude. Take off. See you later. Or in my world, you don't get your money back.
Yeah, why would you get your money?
Yeah,
back?
Sorry. You just lost your money. Chris, I know you're dealing with stuff. Am I good to play something? Sometimes terrible things lead to moments that are, I don't know what the word is, heartwarming, if you will. Here's D-backs manager Torey Lavillo on Ketel Marte and what happened.
Ketel Marte, and there was obviously a very emotional scene out there, and we know how close you are with him. What can you share with us?
It's just it was a terrible moment. Fans are nasty, and fans go too far sometimes. And I love my players, and I'm going to protect them.
Your protection starts way before today, though. You guys go so far. We were talking on the air. I know you're a father figure to him, are you not?
Right. Yeah. I've known Ketel for 9 years, and he's had some unbelievably great moments and some hardships as well, and some really, really tough moments in his life. And I know those. And at the end of the day, we're human beings and we have emotions, and I saw him hurting and I want to protect him.
Can you tell us what you told him?
I love you and I'm with you and we're all together and you're not alone. And no matter what happens, no matter what was said or what you heard, that guy's an idiot and shouldn't have an impact on you.
It just feels.
Yeah. I mean,
it shouldn't have, but it does.
Of course.
You can't.
It's the whole sticks and stones thing. Right. But look, and some, it's just words. Okay. If I
think have an impact,
right? And I think a lot of us, would when you hear something like that, you instinctively put yourself in that person's shoes. Let me tell you something, dude. I don't know how I'd handle that, but it wouldn't be well, in that situation. And by the way, not that it makes a difference, not that it's any better, but it's not like his mom passed of natural. She died in a tragic car accident that is going to haunt this man for the rest of his life. But seeing that relationship between Torey Lavillo and his player and players, it just makes you have love for both of them. No place for that in sports. It's just stupid. I don't know. I'm evil like this. I hope we find out who he is. I hope he gets famous. I really do. I hope he gets famous. You know what? You did the thing. Cool. You have freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom of consequences. So let's make him famous. And I'd love to get to know the dude. Question 2, please.
The Giants lost 1 to the Marlins. Safer out. This needs to be the last loss of the series for San Francisco.
Yeah, it does. If the Giants want to look, they can get swept by the Marlins. They're not done, but come on, guys, you're at home. You're playing the Marlins. They're not a good team. Verlander's on the mound yesterday. You got to get this guy a win. Not that he was perfect, but they got a stretch coming up. Jason, we were talking about this yesterday, where they play the Marlins at home. And then going into the All-Star break, they go from the Marlins, they go to Chicago for the White Sox for 3, Arizona in Arizona for 4, and then they've got the Athletics.
Yeah,
okay,
4th of July. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So this should be a get healthy time for them, because after that, 3. They host Philly for 3. They host the Dodgers for 3, and then you got the All-Star break. Dude, now's the time you need to win some games.
Yeah, that's where in that stretch you talked about, you're going. I don't know the number of games, but can you go 8-2, 9-3? Somewhere in that stretch, whatever the amount total of those 4 series are, get as many as you possibly can. Yeah, at baseball you never win them all, but you want to keep winning series. If you can sweep some series, take advantage of these teams that you are better than, and start putting it together and keep and then. It opens up more options, too. They've already been aggressive with the trade. Does it open up more ideas or more things? Hey, look, we're now this move away from getting to another tier of the National League. So they just gotta keep pushing.
Question 3, please.
The A's got to Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal, then proceeded to blow the lead. Safer out. If you combine the A's and Giants, they'd be the best team in baseball.
I know we've talked about this before, but look. Skubal in the first 3 innings gave up, I think, 3 or 4 runs. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 earned for a guy whose ERA was like 2.01 going in.
Hitting 4 on him is a win.
That's a huge win. But Luis Severino, their big offseason signing, goes 5, gives up 7. His ERA is now just under 5. So, yeah, we've talked about it before, but I think it would be an interesting project this summer is if you took the players off both teams and combined them. Are they the best team in baseball if you do that? I still think it's Yankees-Dodgers. I think they've got – I think if you could take the A's offense, combine it with the Giants pitching, and then, for example, you go like Rodriguez, Doval, Miller in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Good luck. I think you're probably talking about the 3rd best team in the league.
Yeah, there's just too many guys in the A's that can hit. Their pitching just is brutal. And so, to get 4 off Skubal is great, but to give up 11 total, that's just an A's loss to me. That's the way they always look.
Speaking of the A's, when we get to the things you missed, one of them was the A's groundbreaking in Las Vegas yesterday. And Jason, I don't know if you saw the clips, but that Vegas energy was off the charts. Rich Zingas, he's not poor. Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. American Energy Heating and Air. Been around since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau. I say these things all the time because I say these things all the time. Somebody asked me that over the weekend. They're like, why is it so listen to one of my American Energy reasons. Why is it so important for you to say they've been around since 1981? The Better Business Bureau thing. I get it, but you say it every time. Well, because there's so many different companies out there. You could probably name 2 or 3 off the top of your head that are running spots everywhere, commercials on TV. How do you separate them? They fix your furnace. They fix your air conditioner. They replace them. They all have the club and the tune-up and the thing. How do you separate? Well, as a native Sacramentan, as somebody who's lived here pretty much my whole life, you separate it by looking at the track record. They have been around since 1981. Dude, that's almost 50 years. And to get that A+ Better Business Bureau, even the most cynical might say, well, anybody can do that. Okay, all right. That's why I always invite you to go to Google, go to Yelp, read their reviews. They're going to be as good, if not better, price-wise than anyone out there. As a matter of fact, they asked me to remind you all that they are your second opinion partner, meaning if you're used to working with a company or you've already inquired with a company on some things, whether it's repairs or replacement, give these guys a call. They'll come to your house for free. They'll look at what you're dealing with, and they'll give you a bid on the thing. They'll give you a price. You don't have to tell them what the other price is. Make it a secret. It's like a blind auction. Worst case scenario, you wasted 5 minutes opening your door and letting these guys check your system out. Best case, you're going to save some money. So not only are they going to beat the prices, but you have that satisfaction of knowing they stand by their work. 916-520-9990, AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. We're back with what Jason missed next.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Plus, get free home delivery with most smart beds, limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Shea Langoliers, out with that strained left oblique, started a hitting progression, and Mark Kotze said that he's making a lot of good progress. Grant Holman, out with that right shoulder rotator cuff tendonitis, felt discomfort in his right shoulder after his outing, and an MRI revealed the tendonitis. At this time, there is no timeline for his return. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a knack for making things better. Face facts, 'cause your opinion don't matter. This a maniac is gonna step on whoever.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
That's right. Back. Bob Gerald joins us at 9 today. HoopObsession.com. More draft talk, Kings talk, trade talk, all of the above talk.
It's good to be able to walk back in a little bit late now. By the way, while you were
because you didn't do that when Jason was gone.
No, quit tattling, Chris.
I said you didn't.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I was tattling on myself, didn't I? Also, while you were gone, one of our YouTube chatters had to ban him, of all things, because he was messing with MC. Who? Yeah, exactly. Like repeatedly. And so he's on the text line today. He's not being mean. He just was like, oh, I just thought I was getting a timeout, not a ban. You know, I've been listening for years. I don't know. Should I put a poll in the YouTube chat?
How many was MC on his 42nd chance?
Right. Like, I feel... is it easy to unban someone? Is it a big complicated thing? Or
would you like to do it, Dave? Or would you like me to do it?
Can I do it?
You can. You have to just remember their name. You have to go to the YouTube page. You have to make sure that you're signed in. How about I do it?
Well, I'll end up killing the YouTube thing. I'll end up killing our broadcast. By the way, Chris, do you care to share? It's okay if you don't, but do you care to share what happened this morning? What happened to you? Why? I'm concerned.
Just computer issues.
Like avoidable ones, or just our computers are.
You know how corporate told us to move everything into just one drive?
Yes.
And they didn't allow us a backup so that we can make sure that everything's good.
Yeah.
So it's just been dealing with that.
Okay. Have you? Is it over? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Brian took care of it.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Like this, I can't blame on our engineering.
Thanks. Okay. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that.
I'm sure he has not liked these morning calls a lot.
I'm sure he hasn't too, but it's like what? Right, but like I'm sure he understands though. Like, what are we supposed to do? We're on the air. Damn it. I'd be all for you. Look, you want to make this 9 to 10 a.m.
Fine.
Let's go.
Yeah. Save everybody's sleep schedule.
Yeah. We're thinking of other people here.
Yeah.
Jason, while you were gone, a lot of things happened.
Yes.
Drew Holiday got traded yesterday to Portland. This is funny because I completely forgot that he had been traded to Portland originally and was there for like 25 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So the main question I had, I'll ask you, is just on spec, is do you think, we know why Boston did this, but do you think Portland's doing this when you look at their youth and you go, okay, we're going to bring an adult in the room and he's going to be the leader of the team and see what we can do next year? Or do you think Portland's he's another stop on the way to something else?
I don't know that. I mean, I think Portland, what they did establish last year was a pretty good defense.
Yes.
Amongst, finding some of these youthful players that they can, I think, move on individual parts. So,
and he's not bad on defense.
No. So, I think they could have something there. It's just in the West. I mean, I guess that's a building block. That's a place to start. But it's a guy that, was going to be paid pretty well in Boston. Certainly will be paid well in Portland. But when you're not on like a true contender, but I mean, you got to start somewhere. So I don't know. I don't totally understand the fit for Portland, but maybe it's also someone they can eventually move to, like you said.
Also wonder with that, they do keep him. Either A, is he coming in partly as a Scoot Henderson teacher, take him under his wing? I think of very few vets in this league. I mean, Chris Paul may be one of them, but then you got to deal with, Chris Paul.
Yeah.
But very few vets in this league that are smarter at that position and more of a pro than Drew Holiday.
Right.
What a perfect role model for a guy like Scoot, who was the number 2 pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Or could Scoot Henderson be moved? And if that's the case, Kings are looking for a point guard.
Yeah, still.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's see. The A's groundbreaking was yesterday. Rob Manfred and John Fisher made an appearance along with a few others. The construction equipment, we found out later, was rented for the day. But we were kind of torn between, everything tells us that John Fisher is not going to get this done. We don't know what he even said, because this happened before you left, that he had put the earthquakes up for sale. But he said that none of that money is going towards the A's stadium, which was really strange. So part of me goes, John Fisher's a failure. This is never going to work. But the other part of me goes, Jason, Rob Manfred and all these politicians going to put themselves out there if this thing's not going to work and embarrass themselves?
Politicians and Rob Manfred put themselves out there at times to save Oakland and to
not
have teams move, or I don't trust any of them.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I mean, I think everybody's going to put on their best. I mean, I'm sure people in Sacramento are like, hey, we're going to be able to keep this team. We're going to build a stadium at some point. I'm sure there's some corners of people here that say that's going to happen. I'm sure there's some corners in Vegas that it's on its way. And then the others no, there's probably not going to. I don't know. This situation, there's a few people that are involved that makes me think it could happen in Vegas, but there's also too many highly impactful and important people that make me worried about it happening in Vegas.
We have to break, but there was also another little thing that happened while you were gone. The Thunder won the championship. Mm-hmm. So can we get your thoughts on that maybe a little bit later? I mean, look, the NBA season's not done until we get your wrap up on it. So we'll do that.
It's draft day. What are you talking about? The last season's championship.
The Thunder won a championship 2 days ago. It's a long time ago. 3 days ago.
It is draft day. So we do have 3 for Madness next, basketball focused. The Celtics and what they're doing. Will these trades get even crazier? And the Knicks. Yeah, the Knicks. And another candidate, this happened while you were gone, for their head coaching job. We'll get to all that. A lot of basketball talk coming up next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Wednesday, getting out the door to a comfortable start. As we head through the afternoon, temperatures will start to warm. We'll feel that difference with plenty of sunshine, light southwesterly winds. Highs today expected in the low to mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's about time they
fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Play and win to take your loyalty to new heights at Sky River Casino. Join Sky River Rewards today for a chance to receive up to $2,500 in free play. Plus, you'll be in the know about upcoming special events and offers. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun with rewards that add up and up. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit us to see how. Must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing and Air Conditioning. Need a new water heater? Call Bell Brothers. Need a free plumbing estimate? Call Bell Brothers. Have a clogged drain? Call Bell Brothers and we'll unclog it for only $67, plus free camera inspection, valued at $250. We don't guess at plumbing and drain problems. We used advanced camera inspections and diagnostics. We're fast, reliable, and respect your time by showing up when we say we will. The price we quote is the price you pay. With more technicians, more trucks, and more experience, we get the job done right the first time. No surprises. Our technicians are all background checked, drug tested, and will leave the work area cleaner than they found it. Don't wait. Call Bell Brothers today or book online at nosurpriseguys.com. That's nosurpriseguys.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah! With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret, AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks. If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now.
Priority Tax Relief.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All your draft day coverage right here on the Sporty 1140. Coming up, plugged in last night with some Kings folk. Give you the overlay for today, what I heard. Also, Bob Gerald, hoopobsession.com. He'll join us.
Jacked.
He'll join us at 9 a.m. And throughout the day, should anything break, should anything happen, it's not just the Kings working the phone lines. We're working the phone lines, text lines. We'll have all that coverage for you. Also, one note, in those conversations, one of the people I talked to is very close with Vlade Diva. Just got an update on him. If you didn't hear, he was in an accident about a week ago, broke his hip. I inquired about how he's doing. They just talked to him, weirdly enough, about an hour prior, and he's doing great. He's in great spirits. He said, I needed a hip replacement anyways, so this is a good thing. You know, he's joking. He's whatever. So could have been a lot worse. Good for him, and we wish Vlade a speedy recovery. 3 for Madness, Chris Verlaud. Question 1.
The Celtics are obviously clearing salary for a gap year without Jason Tatum. Is this a move, or are they giving up too easily?
Yeah, is this a smart move? I have a lot of trust, and I think Celtics fans should have a lot of trust in Brad Stevens, who not only was a fantastic coach, but also has proven to be a very, very good GM. The only wrench in that, and you mentioned this earlier, Jason, is, well, they do have new ownership. Is this like a new thing? Are they dialing? But when you look at the numbers, they cut their they cut their bill by almost half. I don't know. Part of me thinks, golly, shouldn't they still have a really good team.
Absolutely.
And the East, with Halliburton, with Lillard, East is still wide open. Do you go for it? But it sounds like they're positioning themselves at least to be financially viable long term. Also, you're hearing a lot of rumors about inquiries on Jaylen Brown, which, with everything the Celtics are doing, he's their highest paid player now, along with Tatum. You kind of understand that, but my goodness, if Jaylen Brown moved, I can't help but think, Jason, and this would be different for Boston, but I asked you this question weeks ago. If Oklahoma City wins the title, is this going to be a domino? Is the Sam Presti religion going to spread throughout, where it becomes follow the cap, bulk up your draft assets, continue to rinse and recycle? I just don't think that's a model Boston needs, unlike a small market team like OKC.
Yeah, and you could argue a year ago at this time, Boston had just won a title, and I know there were conversations, we probably had them on this very show, about could this be a dynasty?
Yeah.
So the new NBA is, I mean, it's really year by year. And as good as OKC is set up, and I don't think there's a better setup than anybody has in the league.
Yeah.
They just won a title, and they've got everybody signed. What's promised to anybody?
Nothing.
I mean, I'd rather be them than any team in the league.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. But injuries, which shape this whole playoffs. And then just trades and what people are doing. And so Boston had to know that they had Tatum and Brown in their prime with a nice complementary, more than complementary pieces of Porzingis, Holiday, Derek White, even what Horford, Cornette, Pritchard, Hauser, what they all meant. And they were all coming back. It's like, why won't this be the next champion? I still think had Tatum not gotten hurt, they might be champions. And the injury has changed everything. So I'm not rooting for injury for anybody, but that same thought, if SGA went down, OKC's different. It doesn't mean they fall apart. And I don't know that Boston is totally, I think what their moves are, which it was a little bit predictable. I think people thought they would try to get under the tax threshold. So I think they've done that, but I don't think they're like, hey, watch us be in the lottery next year.
Sure.
There's too much talent there. Now, if they start moving Brown and White, then I think maybe we're looking at an overhaul here. But I think Holiday made sense and Porzingis made sense.
Yes.
Simons is still a really good player. I question the fit a little bit, but I would keep my eye on Boston, see what they're up to here.
Boston effectively traded, and it was a 3-team trade with Atlanta, but they traded Kristaps Porzingis for Gorgie Jang and a second rounder.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to Jang, but that is effectively nothing.
Well, compare that to the Holiday trade, where you get Simons, a young player that, and there's some defensive questions, but look, he can score it, and he's very young still.
Jang makes $8.2 million on an expiring contract, whereas Kristaps Porzingis makes $30 on an expiring contract. So what it looks like is you had the value in Kristaps Porzingis, who, by the way, once upon a time was one of the best and brightest in the league. There's a lot of speculation, and I don't want to speculate other than speculating on the speculation. But something was going on with him in that series, and it's never really been fleshed out. He was having trouble breathing. He wasn't right at all. And so there's a lot of concerns about Porzingis and where for all we know, if you're thinking worst of the worst, for all we know, there may be something seriously wrong with him. And so the value here is not necessarily in his play. I don't think the value here is in his contract and the fact that it's a $30.7 million. That is a huge chunk of an expiring deal. Whereas now you have the Celtics who have chopped, Drew Holiday was signed for another 3-4 years with the option. That's a lot of money to chop off. And I trust what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And I don't think this is a cost cutting thing long term.
Right. And then, like I said, if they truly hear something where you go, wow, we didn't want to trade Jaylen Brown, but look what Team X is going to offer us. Maybe we should look at this and still keep this timeline moving, wait for Tatum to recover and make another run at this. So they've got, I don't think they're in a terrible position. It's just, it's going to be a little bit different looking team that we saw this last 2 years.
To your point about what injuries can force you to do, this went a little under the radar at first, but this is an insane quote coming from an owner. Josh Kroenke, son of Stan, owner of the Denver Nuggets, was doing kind of his postseason wrap up, and unprompted, seeming to listen for what the guy says, that perked a lot of ears up around the NBA.
And I think that for us as an organization, going into that second apron is not necessarily something that we're scared of. I think that there are rules around it that we needed to be very careful of with our injury history. The wrong person gets injured, and very quickly you're into a scenario where that I never want to have to contemplate, and that's trading number 15. And so, we're very conscious of that push.
By the way, Nikola Jokic wears 15.
Yeah.
I get why people are freaking out about that. Also, I think it's just a guy who probably was just being open, saying we don't ever want to do that, so we're taking great steps to make sure we don't do that. That taking that as, well, could Jokic be on? No, he literally just said they're going to prepare so that they don't ever have to be in that position. But I think it's an interesting insight into these new cap rules and what it really is going to force a lot of teams to do.
Yeah, new cap rules, and just, I mean, again, back to the, like, if you're not in championship contention, then what are you?
That's right.
And I think that's forced a lot of teams to trade some incredible talent. And we're seeing, I think it's honestly more common to trade a star than to trade for. I mean, like, if you have it, it would be surprising, but would you be absolutely like floored if, like, Shams tweets the Nuggets have traded Jokic? I mean, it'd be stunning. But we've had it.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any name now anymore that you go, wow? I mean, I think we'd all be shocked.
We would be,
but
I hear
it's
you.
like, well, that's the NBA now.
Trying to think now. Who would be on your NBA Mount Rushmore of names that you would just be floored? Because, like, for example,
like Giannis to me would be, but then, like, he's been talking about.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know that he's on there. Okay, number one, Victor Wembanyama, right? I feel like
today.
I feel like, yeah, right. I'm saying right now, if the Spurs,
like, if it came out, hey, blockbuster move, Spurs
Yes.
are moving Wemby today.
Yes. Okay, so we agree he's
For
on
Jokic.
Right.
Right?
Oh my God. Okay, I want to throw a weird one out there because I think we're thinking, like, with Wemby, young superstar on the middle. Again, imagine in your head reading Shams or somebody tweeting this. Would Steph Curry be on that list?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he would.
Yeah.
And completely different from
Well,
Wembanyama.
it would be weird because it would be like you would read it and like, whoa, they're doing this, and then there could be some story. The reason why they're doing it is this. Like, oh, okay,
Sure.
that makes sense.
Sure.
But that would be shocking.
I think he would be a top 4 most shocking name to be traded.
But don't you think at some point, whether it was Bob Myers or the group now, or Dunleavy, like, they had to bandy that around?
I think they have, and
They
I
have to.
And honestly, I don't want to question a dynasty because that's what they are. But I have a feeling, Bill Belichick got a lot of crap when he was the Patriots coach, and part of the reason was he was also the GM, and his rule was better too early than too late. They probably should have traded Steph Curry. Steph Curry probably should be on the block right now, or they should at least be listening. If you can trade Steph Curry and get a haul of whether it's youth, future picks, whatever, I may be wrong. I don't believe this Warriors team is constructed can win a championship.
Right.
So if you're not winning a championship, you have to be contending. If you're not if you have no chance at winning a championship, you got to do something.
Should Denver do the same thing?
But would there be?
I don't know, man.
With Steph, isn't there value in him being a Warrior his entire career?
Yes.
But we're running out of that's so rare now, but he's won.
But the value, okay, hold on. Let's discuss that. What is the value of him being a Warrior?
Oh, isn't he more valuable? To Chris's point, he's more valuable as a Warrior than he is as a
Hornet or as a
Magic.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Even the player's the same.
Yes.
And Orlando fans would be thrilled.
But outside of PR, what is the value of Steph Curry remaining with the War? I mean, PR, and obviously he's a superstar, but when you say that, I'm just trying to understand, like, when you say value, is it the feel good? Because I don't know that.
Yeah, like, how would you feel? I'm trying to think of a situation, like, as the
Giants traded Buster Posey in his prime?
Yeah.
I'd hate it.
Right. But he built his career, his Hall of Fame, his Warrior, his championships, his MVPs. And if he had 3 years left,
wouldn't you want to give
Orlando,
the fans, like, hey, this is Steph's last season here, and just, like, going through all the memories of that?
I would. But I will also say this. The entire Joe Lacob era started in one of my all-time favorite sports clips that we play once a year. And that was, and I get it's different, but that's trading Monte Ellis, who was the end-all be-all fan favorite coming off the Chris Cohan disaster, and got booed off the floor for it. Now, Monte Ellis, Steph Curry is night and day, don't get me wrong, but at one point, they had some ruthlessness to them. Like, yeah, it's going to piss the fans off right now. We know what we're doing, though, and ultimately, when we win championships, they won't care. I think I agree with you, because I think ultimately the value is that the Warriors want to be known as a team that takes care of their players for future players as well. This is a quality organization, a class organization that might even sacrifice some short-term wins to be loyal and thankful to their
But even as a Warrior fan, if you're a Warrior fan, wouldn't you, if you're given the choice between possibly another championship or Curry finishing his career as a Warrior?
I think if I was Alameda Dave, I would take the championship, but I think I'm in the minority.
Okay.
I'm a championship. I don't care.
But you haven't had that before.
I haven't had that. But I can say that with my other teams that have been.
Let's say for some reason the Kings got the number 1 pick. It was Cooper Flagg. He comes here, completely turns the franchise around. Kings win 4 championships. He's seen better days. He's probably not going to get another run at it, but he's still a quality player that's putting up good numbers. Would you be like, we got to get rid of him so we could get another one?
It's a tough question because I don't know what we're being offered. I don't know. I don't.
That's your first response.
I need to take a look at the deal. Look, sports should
won the trade.
This is why. I mean, this goes back to why. Maybe it's just because that's the way I think. This goes back to why I have such a hard time with those in our fan base that think De'Aaron Fox is a snake and screwed us over. I've said from the jump, he got tired of the organization. He played the second most games for the organization. He didn't trust the organization. He wanted to move on. And part of the reason why I'm a lot more forgiving for that is that this is a business in which players, they have homes, they have families, they have kids in school, they have committed this, that, whatever, and they can get traded. No one ever goes, where's the loyalty? From that point of view, it's always the other point of view. Players need to be loyal to the team. But hey, if the team finds a great deal, and they can trade that player and improve themselves, well, bully, good for you. Well, I'm of that mindset. I don't care if it's my mama. If my mom's on the trading block and I can get a good haul for her, and I know that I feel like I have hit the ceiling with my mother at point guard, and we're not going to win a title, but here's a deal out there that may, in fact, put us over the top at the expense of having to trade my mother. I'm trading my mother. I want the title. But I also don't, but here's the key. I also don't have 4 titles in my pocket over the last 15 years. And that's the difference. And that's why that's why I think the Kings would be in a different spot than the Warriors. Though I think I can make a case that the Warriors owe it to Steph Curry to let him finish his career there, even if that means it's going to preclude them from winning a title while he's there.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. You got him 4 titles.
I guess to Chris's point, the value of the Lakers having Kobe Bryant in his final year of his all-Laker career versus I want one more run at this. At that time, I can't even remember who one of the better teams. The Nets. Like, why are we watching Kobe as a Net? And the Laker fans getting robbed of that saw Kobe do all of the work for all those years.
Do you think that ownership, if they knew from Basketball Jesus, that if they remember that year Kobe almost went to the Clippers? Mm-hmm. Okay, that if they traded Kobe or let him go to the Clippers, that they would have won a championship before Kobe would have retired. Do you think ownership makes that deal?
Would they have won 2?
Huh?
Would they have won 2?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
What about the fan base?
I don't think so.
You think they'd rather? I'm not disagreeing with you. You think they'd rather have Kobe than a title?
Yeah, I think.
No, you're probably right.
And we're also talking about different organizations where the Lakers have the second most. They want titles.
All right, Wembanyama. I just want to finish this off. Wembanyama, Steph,
Joker. Giannis, I guess.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be a surprise just because of the talk of it. I don't think.
It would have been Tatum? No.
Yeah.
Which would be more of a shocker, Tatum or Halliburton? I know they're not the same player, but
no, but either one because of the injury. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean to it? Yeah. That someone would want them.
I think Halliburton would be more shocking.
It wouldn't be Embiid. It wouldn't be Brunson. Oh, Anthony Edwards.
Be surprising.
Yeah. We're trying to find the 4th spot here. So now we're basically playing King of the Hill. Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Anthony Edwards. Who's the most surprising?
Edwards, I
agree with you. Okay, so
Edwards, Joker, Curry,
Donovan Mitchell. I feel like
he's already been traded.
Yeah. I'm doing the Clippers.
I mean, Luka again.
I was just getting to the Lakers. I was like, God.
Well, LeBron's technically never been traded, right?
Yeah, you're right.
LeBron being traded would be weird.
Yeah, I think. No, yeah. No. Okay. I think we got it.
McDermott.
Yeah, 100%. Dougie McBuckets. Well, okay, so yes, Wemby, Steph, Ant,
Joker.
I think that's the Mount Rushmore. Can I tell you? I will tell you one though that would absolutely floor me, but I fully acknowledge should not be on the list. But if I was if I'm looking at my tweeter, and Shams says that the Houston Rockets have traded Amen Thompson, I'm dropping my phone on the ground.
Yeah.
I understand he's not in that list,
Right.
but I'm dropping my phone on the ground. Hey, question 2, please.
Question 2.
With the flurry of trades already happening, could it get even crazier as someone tries to position for the Eastern Conference title?
I think it will. Because, dude, the Eastern Conference is fascinating this year. We were discussing yesterday, Jason, who with the Knicks not having a coach. And by the way, Mike Inori is now added to the list with former Kings coach Mike Brown, former Kings assistant Mike Inori, and Taylor Jenkins on that spot. Weird. They're just, what is going on? Like the draft is today. What are they waiting on?
Right.
But the Knicks, the Celtics, Tatum's out. The Pacers, we're talking about 3 of the top 5 teams. Tatum out, Halliburton out, Lillard out. Look, the Pistons are up and coming, but, dude, they finished 20 back last year. The Magic are going to be better this year with Desmond Bane. They finished 23 back. I don't see the Heat, Hawks, Bulls, Raptors, Nets, Sixers. Are we overlooking Cleveland?
Yes.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like, bro, 64-18,
Right.
and they were hurt in that series.
Yeah.
I think they are the clear favorite, bigger favorite now than they were at the All-Star break last year to win the
because
East.
people wondered about them, and I know they didn't get to the promised land this year, but yeah, they had a great season, and they're still all at the moment, together again.
But I do think that there's a lot in the East that say, okay, well, we can make a run. Who knows? Maybe they get injured again, but also, okay, maybe we're the 2, the 3, the 4 seed. We make a nice long run. I think an interesting question maybe we could do tomorrow is, of the Celtics, Pacers, and Bucks, who's best positioned to compete next year without their players. But yeah, I think you're going to see like the Celtics are trading for different reasons, but we haven't even gotten is Indiana going to do something? Are they going to mess around? I don't know what the hell Milwaukee can do outside trading Giannis. They can do some stuff around the edges with Bobby Portis or whatever. But
right.
I don't know what the hell they can do. All right, then speaking of the Knicks, question 3, please.
Question 3.
Are the Knicks, who have no coach, currently the second best team in the East?
I think so. I do. They were right there. They gave Indiana all they could, and look, as much as the firing of Tom Thibodeau is kind of weird, we've talked about it before. Definitely not immune to the Doug Collins effect. If they get the right guy to come in and put them over the top and make them feel like the bricks got taken off their feet, the Knicks could do some real damage in the East, including winning the Eastern Conference Championship. I don't think it's out of line at all to think the Knicks, for me, if the Knicks aren't the second, I'd say they're the third favorite to win the whole thing next year in my mind, partly because they're in the East. I do think they could get past the Cavs. I wouldn't predict it, but I do think they could. I think, imagine a Knicks OKC. Let's just assume they're NBA Finals. Holy crap. Talk about a throwback. That'd be a blast.
Yeah, and I think the Knicks were less than a coach away. I think it was just a little bit of a tweak to the roster. And, there was a lot of talk about Durant and Karl Anthony Towns. Could that be a trade? Could that be something that they do? Well, they didn't, obviously, but I they still could move someone like Towns or, all those wings that they have that they start and kind of do a lot of the same stuff. I think they've got some flexibility to move some guys. So I think the Knicks are a team that is watching what's happening around the East and can make an impact here and still jump in and maybe even improve their lot and being the second best team to the best team if they do the right trades.
We'll take a break. When we return, the Kings have finalized their coaching staff. We'll lay out who that is. We'll look ahead to summer. And then over the next two segments, we'll plug you back in as we did last night with what the Kings are doing, where their heads are at right now. And I'll tell you why. It's not the medicine you want, but it might just be the medicine you need when it comes to what the Kings are or aren't doing. We'll get to that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret? AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Plus, get free home delivery with most smart beds, limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Number one poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Have you heard? Kohl's Instant Kohl's Cash event is happening now. That's right. You can get $10 Kohl's Cash to use instantly when you spend $25 or more. Get it today and spend it today on summer must-haves from your favorite brands. Yep, you definitely don't want to miss this. Get instant Kohl's Cash while you still can at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Offers end June 29th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora at Kohl's. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Get to your local Toyota dealer because the 4th of July sales event is on. Hurry in to check out the hottest deals on 17 Toyota hybrid models from the longest lasting brand on the road. And right now, get a low-cost lease on 2025 Prius. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care. That's 2 years of complimentary maintenance. These deals won't wait, and neither should you. In a brand new Toyota, explore this summer like you mean it. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit at 6/30/25.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
Make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
The coaching staff, the Sacramento Kings, has been finalized and announced. We knew these folk coming in, but in addition to associate head coach Mike Woodson, former Sacramento King, Woody, Bobby Jackson, Mike Miller, Chris Darnell, and old friend Leandro Barbosa will be the assistants. Dipesh Mystery has been elevated to assistant coach / player development guy. Paul Jesperson will be the head of player development. Jimmy Alapag and Garius Adams will be player development coaches. Will Scott will serve as a coaching assistant / advanced scout. Will he? I don't know. Shandon Goldman, head video coordinator. And Steph Ingo, assistant video coordinator. Doug Christie said in the release, quote, I'm excited for the opportunity to work alongside such a talented and experienced coaching staff, a group that truly reflects our values and the culture we're building. Their passion and leadership will shape not just how we play, but who we become as a team. I'm looking forward to the season ahead. Wouldn't that be funny if he was like, yeah, I don't know. Well, I hope it works.
Yeah.
I just kind of met most of these guys.
Yeah. Christopher Law at Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, Chris in the back.
More like Rich Zingus.
Security.
So there, you got your staff together.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens to D, they're still gonna, head to Vegas here in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Really just and still no word. I did ask, and I'm not getting answers yet, but will Devin Carter play in Vegas summer?
I really hope so.
I do too.
I would assume so, but that's an assumption.
But I think the big thing right now is stabilize the ship. Okay, so
what does that mean?
Well, look.
To you, I mean, I know what it means, but right.
It means if a ship is so. Here, let's just lay out last year. Okay, you had the Mike Brown drama. He's gone. You had players that were very loyal to Mike Brown, players that just didn't see eye to eye with Mike Brown. So you had kind of a split there. You had the front office. You had entities within the front office that did not see eye to eye. You had people in the front office that had different agendas. You had people in the front office that had their own things they were looking to do or not do or undercut or whatever. You had a lot of backbiting going on. Then you have the players and everything that we've hashed and rehashed and double hashed with De'Aaron Fox and everything that went on there. Now, each one of those is a major drama thing that if it happened to an NBA team would be the story of the season. The Kings had 3 of those. On top of that, you had Doug Christie promoted. And let's just be clear, that didn't go over well with some of the staff.
Right.
And if you believe what you hear from the people that know things, and I do, Doug didn't have the buy-in that a head coach needs to have from some on the staff. There were,
and I would say the staff you just read is, the previous members of the staff are not here anymore.
That's right. That's not a coincidence. Yeah. Now, by the way, if let's be really clear, just because there's not a previous member of the staff here, we're not saying that was the person.
Right.
But there were people that just, I don't think it was personal, just didn't see eye to eye.
Well, you got to think too. It's like, well, I didn't sign up to work with this person.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's not, once again, not personal.
No.
It's just like, and I didn't sign up for you to work with me.
You also, and I think it's important here because there's one big thing we're leaving out. You had interference from above. Mm-hmm. You had things being overruled or weighed in. And when I say interference from above, I think everybody automatically assumes that's Vivek Ranadive. And by the way, yeah. But that wasn't the only interference that was coming from above either. Like there's multiple interferences that were happening that just would make anyone roll their eyes and go, are you freaking kidding me, dude? So when you talk about stabilizing a ship, you're stabilizing in part a ship that was incredibly sinking, and you had people jumping off. You had people that said, I've had enough of this. I ain't dealing with it, dude. I need to move on. The one that we know the most is De'Aaron Fox. It was like, whether you agree or disagree with his methods, whatever. It came down to I'm done. I've seen this dysfunction enough. I don't trust it. I need to go somewhere else. I'm not committing to this. But it wasn't just him. You had Wes Wilcox go to Utah in the middle of the year to do college. You had coaches jumping off. You had now I don't think this was a part of it, but our friend why am I blanking? Florida State. Jesus, David.
Luke Laux.
Luke Laux. Thank you. You had people you had players on the phone with their agents going, maybe this ain't. It is a dumpster fire. There's no way to describe last year other than the fact that it was a dumpster fire from top to bottom. Doug's got to stabilize that now. And hey, why not? And Doug has his doubters too. Anyone who's come into contact with Doug, anybody who's worked with Doug, anybody who's been around with Doug is rooting for him and has no doubt that this dude is a dude.
Yeah.
But as we've said before, what? I can't hear you.
You sure that dude's a dude?
He's a dude. Dude's a dude.
Can you stabilize the team without a significant move? Meaning, let DeRozan, Levine, Monk, Sabonis, Murray, Ellis all back.
I think a lot of it, Jason, depends on
edge moves. I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on what your definition is of stability. I'm not necessarily. I think wins and losses are secondary at this point. I know you play to win the game, but this is a long play here. The answer is yes, I think you can. And the way I think you do that is you're going to be opportunistic, and we'll get into that quite a bit in the next segment, what the Kings are going to do and not do today and in the future. But ultimately, the team you go in with is the team you go in with. And it's one of those, hey, guys, look, we're the joke of the NBA. People think this is basketball hell. You got the best fans in the NBA behind you. Are we going to win a title? Don't know. But let's go out there and just try to win game one and then try to win game two. And you try to stabilize things. You work on the thing. You control the things you can control. You continue to develop Keon Ellis. You try to get what you thought you were getting out of Devin Carter. Again, assuming all these guys are still on the team. Right. You see if you can get Keegan Murray to go up to the next level. Domantas Sabonis and Doug, that relationship and making sure you do the things, you do the little pieces of things you can do. And in Doug's case, again, here's another guy that has been an underdog his whole life, who has been overlooked his whole life, and then finally found his game here in Sacramento mainly. But he hears everything. Now, he ain't a social media guy, but fact remains is this. I don't know this for a fact, but I would bet money on it, and I think he would too. I don't think Doug Christie's getting hired as a head coach for any of the other 29 teams. I think this is the one place it would happen. This is his shot. And he ain't screwing around.
Right.
I don't know if Doug Christie's going to be a great head coach. I don't know if we're going to be sitting here in 2 years looking at Doug like we looked at Vlade. I don't, or like others, a lot of people looked at Vlade. But I think that when we're talking about stability, Jason, it's just a matter of Scott Perry has to quiet the noise from above and eliminate that. You want to check in, say hi, what's going on? What are we working on? Absolutely. That is 100% okay. You want to weigh in? I mean, sure. But hopefully that weighing in is in one ear, out the other.
What's the more difficult job then of the two relatively new hires? Because Doug was here, but Doug being the head coach and controlling the stability of the floor with whatever personnel he's given, or Scott Perry quieting the noise,
which is the more difficult job. Scott Perry's,
100%,
without a doubt.
You kind of need both to work.
You do.
Not that
that's
like Scott Perry could do that, and if you're not getting the most out of the floor, you're probably not quieting they go together.
They do. They have to be synergistic.
Yeah,
they both have to work. And Scott's got not only does Scott have the tougher job, but it's almost completely out of his control.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it either happens or it does not.
Right.
If it is just completely up to those above Doug or above Scott to say, I'm stepping back and letting the pros do their thing. I'm not good at this. I've tried to help my intentions, and I don't think there's a sliver of maliciousness.
Right.
Everybody wants to win a championship.
Absolutely.
No one more than Vivek Ranadive. but it ain't working. So I'm stepping back because, honest to God, right now, and I do think that ownership reads the papers. If a national writer were to come out and say it is a neck and neck, tooth and tooth fight between Vivek Ranadive and Matt Ishbia for the two owners in the NBA with the worst reputations, do you think public opinion would say that's wrong? I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. I'm saying give me another owner. It ain't James Dolan anymore. It's not Dolan. Dolan's got the Knicks a breath away from the Eastern Conference, from the championship.
Yeah. Well, it's like you've said before, a lot of times we don't even know who the owners are.
No. The funny thing is, we talked about this a lot when you were gone. Say what you want about Clay Bennett, and there's a ton Seattle can say.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma City,
but since then,
model owner. You saw him on the stand. He gets handed the trophy. He raises it and hands it right. Didn't say anything. Just I'm out of the way. If I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, I worship Clay Bennett. Now Seattle's got a different look, but that's the ownership model. Peter Holt is the ownership model. Mickey Harrison, that is the ownership model. Whit Grusbeck, that is the ownership model. Look at the best owners in the NBA, or the best teams in the NBA. Look at their owners. The one guy that has somehow skated around it was Mark Cuban. And not everybody's Mark Cuban, and that was a one and done. So they got to learn those lessons. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll tell you, plug it into the Kings last night, what the latest is on draft day, philosophically and otherwise, what they're looking to do, what they're not looking to do. And again, why the medicine might taste a little bitter, but it might be the medicine you need. And I'm going to talk about a lot of the reactions I've been seeing and why I think they might be a little bit off base if we're playing chess and not checkers. We'll do that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West rating 2011 renewal. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, there's a real chance of Jacob Wilson starting the All-Star game. As of the start of the A's current trip, he had a 250,000 vote lead at shortstop. Next up, the final vote of the top two finishers. If he wins that, he'll become the first A's shortstop to start the game in 50 years. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks.
If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now.
Priority Tax Relief.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, Jason's back. Hi. Hey, can I just say, going out on a limb here, I like it more when you're here.
You do?
It's just the show goes quicker. You bring muffaladas.
Yes.
It was okay.
It's not just me and Chris.
What do I mean, Chris?
I mean, not you know.
You know, I don't think we had a bad argument. There's usually one day where I'll be like,
well, there wasn't that many shows. Like with the day off and the weekend.
Oh, did we have one?
There was only 4 shows that I missed, and you were gone for one of them.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, but even then, that's enough time. That's enough time for us to have a blow up.
Yeah, we only talked about student loans.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think it was too. It was comparing student loans to Fernando Tatis taking $2 million when he was 17 and having to pay 10% of his 10% of his future proceeds to whatever. And
I missed it.
And then I was like, well, he signed the contract. Chris was like, socialism and whatever he says. And then I was like, well, and he was like,
big day for us last night.
Huge day for you guys last. Yes, it was. 1-800-920-1140 is the phone number. 916-339-1140 if you want to text. On the phone lines, my name is Jeff. Jeff, you're on with Jason and Dave and Chris. Good morning.
Good morning to all three of you. And Dave, my only question with our favorite past king and new coach is he had a trait that Brown had, is that he played his starters way too many minutes. And this new NBA, you got to have a lot of bench help, and you got to pay the price. And I hope that he changed that habit this year. That's my concern.
All right. Well, we'll see. Thank you, Jeff. I think a lot of that speaks to the depth and really what the Kings are trying to do. So that's a good lead in, Jason.
Yeah.
Plugged in last night, and here's the overview for today. It's so funny when you talk to people the night before the draft,
right?
And everyone's like, got to get sleep, but the phone is on notifications. You never know what's going to come. Plus, you got to wake up and be going East Coast time way before. It's going to be a long, long day. A lot of coffee and stuff going to be drunken today there and in front offices around the country. The overall, and just to be transparent, you get told things and then it's okay. Well, what are we comfortable saying here? That's kind of an overall philosophy, which is the through line is they're just being patient. They're not going to force anything. The Kings want to get into the first round. That is a known thing. They would like to get a first round pick.
But it's got to be the right move.
It's got to be the right move. There is no mandate to get into the first round. And it's also one of those, I think that their mindset is, look, we are perfectly comfortable letting the draft go through. If we don't get the first round pick, we don't. But our moves are going to come in free agency and maybe a trade or two, of which we can completely control that aspect. But their ears, they're open for business. And so as draft day commences and people are trying to position, a lot of these conversations that have been being had, some over the last few days, some over the last few weeks, some that pick up from last summer. Hey, want to revisit what we talked about? Any change there? The way these things matriculate is always interesting to watch. So for them, if they have an opportunity to, whether it's directly or as a facilitator, pick up something that is advantageous. And by the way, I'm aware that it's like, well, they can do something to improve the team. They're going to do it. But I think the main takeaway is that if you're a betting man right now at 7:51 in the morning, it's probably going to be a pretty quiet day for the Kings. That's just where it's at. But boy, could that all change in the next 30 seconds. Somebody calls up from XYZ team and says, hey, why don't you take a look at this deal? We really want to move up in this draft, and these guys want this, and we need to get rid of the set, whatever it may be.
Yeah, with all the moves, like some teams have made trades yesterday. There was talk about, the Nets that have, I think, six first-round picks.
Yeah.
So, and a bunch in that 17 to like 28 range. Could they be a team the Kings could work with?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Got to have the right deal that the Nets want, that the Kings want. So, yeah, I like that idea in premise. Just, don't force anything. But if you can get there and find a player you're looking for, do it. Go for it.
I think if they could find a move, obviously, that made sense for Zach LaVine, I think they'd do it. I think DeRozan is 99% the favorite to be the guy that goes, in part because of the contract. I do not believe, and I've said this for a while, DeRozan and LaVine will be on this team next year. But they also have this glut of Keon Ellis, Devin Carter, DeRozan, LaVine, Malik Monk.
Yeah.
I would be not surprised, Jason. I would be shocked, like on the floor, like holding my chest, if two of those weren't gone.
Right.
I don't know which two.
Yeah.
But there's conversations happening. So understandably, a lot of the reaction is, the gif of, poking the thing with a stick, do something, or great, we're going to run it back. Or I understand that there are a large amount of Kings fans that want to see some firecracker moves. I talked about the medicine that's bitter, but it might, the last thing I want to see, and the last thing I think Kings fans should want to see, is some sort of firecracker move that's a win now.
Yeah.
I don't know that this is the direction they're going, and honestly, I doubt it. But if we were talking about a team that's like, look, dude, we're not going to win a title with this team, or we're going to rebuild. If we follow Scott Perry's record with James Dolan and the Knicks, where he turned the entire roster over in under 3 years, this is exactly what you want. Guys, we're not winning a championship next year. So we're not looking to sacrifice future first-round value. We're not looking to take on tons of salary unless it's expiring. We're doing everything we can to try to maximize value for what we have and to build for the future. And you know what happens with that? That means you load up on certain things, you wait, you're patient. Oh, we're not going to make a single move this summer, that's fine. I would rather them not do a thing and run this whole team back next year than make some stupid move that's going to hamstring them for 2 or 3 extra wins. And then, the trade deadline comes around.
Right.
Well, we got you. Much rather them do that. And I think that's where their head's at right now. I think they're just being patient, and they know this ain't the team.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do anything that's going to hamstring them in the future. And I'm fine with that.
And that's why also, too, I think it goes back to Scott Perry's experience that
Yes.
if he can't, there better not be a mandate to look, progress and improvement, that should all be goals. But got to be a playoff team. I think they want to be.
Yes.
But you can't do it in a way that just doesn't make any sense. Where it's an all or nothing.
Absolutely.
And the nothing is derailing you for even. They've 19 of 20 years they haven't made the playoffs. Yeah. It's kind of hard to miss the playoffs
when over half the teams in the NBA make it.
And 19 of 20 years they've missed.
It's a special kind of failure.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider the amount of draft capital they've had
Right.
and that they've blown over those 19 years. Much more on that later, including their draft history, specifically at 8:28. Bob Jarrett will join us at 9 a.m. Jason, you really had to put their draft history as a segment in here. Remember I said I was glad you're back? Jeez. When we come back, all these trades.
What gives?
What's the deal with all these trades? We'll talk about that and why next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Wednesday, getting out the door to a comfortable start. As we head through the afternoon, temperatures will start to warm. We'll feel that difference with plenty of sunshine, light southwesterly winds. Highs today expected in the low to mid 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's about time they fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, tell me what's happening for the Employee Pricing Plus sales event.
Anyone can get you employee pricing, but at Hoblet, it's all about the plus. You can only get here. Save up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 crew cabs. One of the many reasons we are the #1 Ram truck dealer in California.
But why do you think Hoblet's consistently California's #1 Ram truck dealer?
You won't find a better price on the Ram truck you need. And with 500 new Rams available, no one has a better selection. Plus, being a 5th-generation family-owned dealer, you get the big city selection and savings with the small-town service, and we have 7 Walter P. Chrysler Service Awards to prove it.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie after 6,000 factory rebates and 10,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,500 select inventory bonus cash, 500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. Employee pricing factored into dealer discount. 5% net savings. Sample VIN 711632. See dealer for details.
This July 3rd, get ready to ignite your summer at the Ron Stramiska Firecracker 90 at the legendary Stockton 99 Speedway with late models, mini stocks, pure stocks, legends, and mini mods. All alcohol, plus a massive fireworks show that'll light up the night. Get your tickets now at Stockton99.com. July 3rd, be there.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. SubcontractorsUnited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret?
AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
For more than 75 years, University of Maryland Global Campus has given you the opportunity to build your next success. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs in career-relevant fields like business, healthcare, data analytics, cybersecurity, and more. Plus, we offer 100% online and hybrid courses, personalized advising, and lifetime career services. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway through the week. Your week! So right now, I need every single listener on their feet. Callers, texters, YouTubers. Make some noise for Sacramento's favorite sports morning show. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, and the man behind the glass, Chris Burlon.
Yesterday, Jason, while you were gone, was an homage to my wife's and my friend, the wife of
Set the screen.
The other couple we hang out with. We were golfing and they were whining about work or whatever the hell they talk about. She was like, "You can walk around all day and you guys be entertained by what athletes have a 5-syllable or more first name in history, and you guys can talk about that for 5 hours." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's a great question." So you said during the break, "Hey, Chris, because we couldn't come up with another one." You said Emiliano. And I was like, "Oh, you mean Emil Fragoso?" But like, there wasn't Emiliano. And of course, the best part about this is Chris and I, every single time a name comes up, we're like on our fingers, Emiliano. Yeah. We were also having an argument as to, because somebody submitted Carl Anthony Towns. Right. So not only do you have the Carl and Anthony, which is a question mark, but also is it Carl or Carl? Carl. One. Say it. Right. Exactly. I'm hearing two.
Carl.
I
don't know.
What was the green, not Green Needle. What was the one that goes back?
Laurel. Yanni.
Emiliano Martinez was a goalkeeper for an Argentine team. So I guess I
knew that.
The only one I could think of, and I tried my best, dude, and I still haven't seen one on the text or in the chat, is Eugenio Suarez, the baseball player. Eugenio. That's it. It's the only one I could come up with. Yeah, Antonio is 4. Because I was like, oh, Antonio Alfonseca? Remember I used to think his name was Alfonseca? But no.
Maximilian.
Maximilian?
Is that how you say it?
Maximilian. Hi, my name is Maximilian.
Maximilian Muncy. Max Muncy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. So that's where we're at. Anyways, anybody who can come up with something else, you got to add a kid. Projected lottery pick Noah Esengwe is reportedly leaving his team to be in attendance for the NBA draft. His team is currently leading 2-1 in the German League finals. I don't know, man. Maybe this is just me being whatever, but do you want a guy that's going to...
The game just started. It's 2-1.
They're up 2-1 in the finals. You've been working with these guys all year. Like, I guess I get, like, okay, you get injured in one of the... I get it. I do. But, like, also, like, dude, you're still going to get drafted. You're leaving your team in the middle of a series to go shake Adam Silver's hand.
Kid. You're still going to be born. Like, is that the same argument? Or is it? It is for you.
I'm just saying. Look, I'm not going to lie. Avery was born, it was like, oh my God, all hands on deck. Mason, it was like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big head. How's that going to fit? Like, it was different.
I need to get some big hats.
That's when you slip the doctor out $1 bill after, because,
extra work or what? Describe it.
Sometimes you say things you shouldn't say. Well, you don't.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta tip the doc. You gotta tip the doc, man. We tip for
everything.
Yeah,
literally yesterday, because I got from the airport drink, self takeout, right?
Yeah,
I literally grabbed the drink, paid for it on the thing, and the tip. It says tip. You want to do it, and it goes right to 15%. For what I did, can I tip myself?
Yeah, can I get 15% off for doing the
Why
work?
does that screen immediately come up on the self checkout?
It's also the same thing with like Korean barbecue or something. Like, I'm cooking the food,
Right.
Split that tip with me. How do you feel about the tipping culture, Chris?
I believe
the children are our future, but what else?
That that businesses should give a wage that doesn't include people giving it to them.
Wait.
I believe their wage should not rely
I got you.
on-
I got you. One thing I've learned, one thing that I can't get used to in England, you don't tip. It's not a thing. I've asked.
They lie to you.
I've been at a restaurant, and that first off, when you're at like a sit-down restaurant and they bring you the check, they bring out this little reader for you to put your card in right at the table, and then it ding, 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 prints out a little receipt. And I've actually asked the waiter before, or I've been like, I'm sorry.
Also, English people are super, no necessary.
Right, but like, I get that from a culture point of view, but I've actually asked, like, there's no space on the receipt for me to write in a tip. The service was great. Oh, no, so no, that's not me.
Would it be weird if you went, like, if we went over to your house and you fed us and like we were supposed to leave a tip?
You come in the next day furious.
Like, really? $4
was your service?
$4?
Did you not like the meal?
We didn't even give you anything because we didn't know that. My guys, not only did I give it to you, but
right, what?
But I cooked it for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you're treating me worse than a waiter right now.
See, and this is what I was getting yesterday from the 916. Emmanuel Moutier. Emmanuel. In what world is that 5 syllables? Emmanuel. Even if you sound it out, it's not 5.
Emmanuel.
But that same texter gets an attaboy because we have a second one. We have a second.
Okay.
We have.
What letter does it start with?
Okay. So we have a second 5-syllable first name. Let's see if we can get there. This is not a name that would just come right across off your tongue
You don't say a 5-syllable word. That's just not immediate.
Right. It is an active player.
Do we say the name in a shorter version?
No.
Oh.
No.
We say the full name?
Yes. Active player. Active football player.
Oh, because I was going to go Keegan.
Active NFL player. There's a hint I can give, but it'll give it away. His father has a more famous son
Than the football player himself?
Mm-hmm. Than this player I'm talking about. His father's son is far better known.
So his brother. Is that
You
part
say
of the
tomato.
hint?
Yes.
And what is the brother or his father's son more famous for? Is he an athlete?
For being an athlete. I don't want to go any further than that. For being an athlete. This person is a starter.
Which one?
In the NFL. The 5-syllable first name. He plays for one of the most, I think last I checked, storied franchises in the league.
New England?
I will give you one team for me to yay or nay on right away? Is that the one team you want me to say yes or no?
No, never mind.
Everyone play along with it at home. That's fine.
Can you give us a position of the football player?
I can. I mean, that's definitely something.
I mean, I don't have any clue right now.
Okay.
Chris, do you?
No.
His full name is actually 3 names. His last name is 2 names. You know, like Von Trapp, that type of thing.
Jew. Schuster.
Let me just make sure he's still doing what I think he's doing here.
Darius Hayward Bay.
Oh, wait. I might be wrong here. Here we go. Where is he? He is currently. Oh, okay. So last year he actually signed with a different team that I'm talking about and was released August and played on the practice squad. His brother. Okay, so I kind of misled you there. I'm sorry. I need to wrap this up. His brother, I believe, was an All-Pro last year in the NFL.
Oh, also in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Equanimous St. Brown. Equanimous St. Brown. Equanimous. We call him Eck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought he was still playing for the Bears. So that's a little tough. But you know the name.
Yeah.
You know the name.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra is only 3. Equanimous St. Brown is one of the all-time great names. By the way, his full name is Equanimous Tristan Imhotep J. St. Brown. The letter J. German.
That's what the J stands for?
It's a lot of trades going on, Jason. A lot of trades going on in the NBA. Desmond Bain, Kevin Durant, Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, CJ McCollum. Oh, here's a question. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Assuming all are healthy, Jason, and you have enough money left to fill out the bench, is that a playoff team?
Bain, Holiday, backcourt with CJ or Small. Well, then Durant and Porzingis.
Yeah. Let's say you put Durant at the 4.
That team can make a top 8.
I think they would too.
That'd be a play-in, but top 8
sure,
in the league.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Trades are always fun for us.
Right.
Good for the league, though.
I don't know anymore because, well, I guess put it this way: we are talking about Durant got traded on Game 7 of the finals.
Yeah. Which was weird.
Very weird. Bain a little before that. These others since. We're not even to the draft, which is today. Free agency can lead to some more movement and some more trades. I don't know because I guess my answer would be I know there was a portion of our fan base that their favorite player was De'Aaron Fox. So the second he gets traded, that has to do something to you, whether you like the trade, you don't like the trade. A lot of people didn't like the trade. But if that's your favorite player and it's like, hey, you're rooting for the team, sure, but you get attached to, if it's not him, Malik Monk's my favorite player.
Yes.
Right? Well, there's a decent chance Malik Monk gets traded, or maybe Kevin Durant was your favorite player, or you just love Kevin Durant. And now you've seen him go, I like Durant on the Nets. Well, not as much on the Sun. Now he's a Rocket. He was a Warrior. He's been just Sonic, Thunder. He's all over the place. And these guys changing teams, I don't know how many more Duncan, Kobe, Nowitzki's. I guess we've got Curry right now.
I think.
But like Luka should have been a Mav for his life.
For life.
LeBron in Cleveland made sense for his life. Well, he went to Miami, back to Cleveland, now to LA. Kawhi Leonard's one of the great players. Like, if you really go across the list of players in this league, almost all of them have been moved.
Yeah. You would think Wemby would be. What about
just getting started? But at some point, don't you think Wemby will be traded in his career?
I would have to say yes.
Because if we look at this, either injury or at some point, do they get to a spot where like, hey, we're going to have to pay him this. he's good. He's not as good as or whatever. Wherever you get to that point, like Luka, well, whatever the rationale was, a lot of it was money. A lot of it was allegedly work ethic and some other things. I would have never thought they would trade him.
Ever.
So I don't know if this is good. And if we're such a timeline now of, like, here's be an example. Today, I bet when Cooper Flagg is drafted number 1 by Dallas, someone on the set, and I'm not even faulting him for this, to say they've got their starting power forward for the next 10 years. That's like an easy 10 years in the NBA? We go to 10 years ago on the Sacramento Kings. The team in 2000, like, I don't know, you want to pull up the team in 2015? See how different it is?
Kings 20.
I wonder how many people from the 2015 Sacramento Kings are in the league.
Are in the league. Okay.
No, certainly not on the Kings.
Great
we know that. Buddy, maybe it was Buddy. I don't even know.
Quincy Acee, no. James Anderson. Marco Bellinelli, Caron Butler, Omri Caspi, Willie Cauley-Stein, Darren Collison, DeMarcus Cousins. Seth Curry still in the league?
Yeah.
Kind of. Duje Ducon. Remember his name. Rudy Gay just retired. Costa Koufos, no. Ben McLemore, no. Eric Moreland, no. Rajon Rondo, no.
1. And it's Curry, who's on the fringe. Seth.
Wow.
Like Cousins would have been the one. Like, that's your guy for 10 years. Okay.
Yes.
And Cousins had a good career. But we're in like 2-year windows, 1-year window. I mean, Boston, like I said earlier, won a championship last year with Tatum and Brown in their prime with really good pieces around them, and they're changing that team up a little bit. Whether it's finances, injuries, this thing is moving at such a rapid rate.
I'm just looking here. Quick guess.
Mm-hmm.
Totally putting you on the spot. I would not get this. Top of your head, as soon as I ask you, you got 2 seconds to give me a number. How many players are left from the first beam team year on the Kings?
2.
Keegan
and Sabonis? Oh, and Monk.
Sabonis, Keegan, Monk, Lyles, Ellis.
Okay.
That's
and
it.
then when we start the season, I mean, I don't think Lyles will be here.
I agree with you.
And then maybe somebody.
I think there's it's probably a coin flip as to whether all of those guys.
And that's not that abnormal. So, I mean, if
you almost have a complete team turn, you have turned over 2/3 and counting of that team in 3 years.
Can you do so what year is that? 23?
That was 22, 23.
So do the 22-23 if you don't mind, Pacers, who are just in the finals. I bet it's Halliburton and Turner. I might be missing somebody.
Turner.
And remember, Halliburton they just got.
Yeah, what did you say, 2023?
I guess so.
Yeah.
22-23 Pacers.
22-23 Pacers. All right.
Maybe I'm missing somebody.
Bruce Brown, no. Kendall Brown, no. Halliburton.
Yep.
Healed, Isaiah Jackson, Quentin Jackson, James Johnson.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I know. Like he's
but yes.
Your guy Matherin.
Okay.
TJ McConnell.
Oh, they did have him already.
Yeah,
okay,
I
didn't.
did.
All right.
McDermott. We know where he's at. Nemhard and Neesmith were on that team.
Oh, they just traded for Neesmith.
Yeah.
Nemhard they drafted.
You know what? Hold on, Jason. Nope. That's 23-24.
Yeah,
Nope. You're okay. Okay. Oh, no. They say he's got to go. Go, Batadze. Not on the team. Kendall Brown, no. O'Shea Brissett, no. Chris Duarte, former King, no. Halliburton, Buddy Hield, George Hill. God, a lot of former Kings here. Isaiah Jackson, James Johnson, Matherin, McConnell, Nemhard Neesmith.
Really?
Interesting.
Okay.
Nora, no.
Turner will be one.
Miles Turner, Gabe York, Daniel Tice.
Okay, so that's
Terry
a little
Taylor,
different.
Jalen Smith.
A little more than I thought, but that the point being like how much this shifts.
Yes,
and how quickly it changes.
It really is. Like we think about it like, oh, all these guys are good. No, they're not.
Well, and then things are built like up there on the screen. They just had Durant in Phoenix uniform. It's like, well, Durant, Booker, and Beal didn't work. Okay, like. How long do you give it? You move, you go. It's like It's just because of contracts,
Yes.
because of injuries, because of impatience, because of, hey, we're either in a championship run or not. I don't know if this is good for the league. I really don't. I mean, the league, I'm going to tell you this. I know this is going to happen again. It happened at the broadcast meetings last year, and I'm sure they'll do that this year. Well, they'll brag about the fact that this is now 7 straight years with a different champion. Right? 7 years in a row, there's been a different champion.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
But also, is that good?
No.
So, like, if next year, if it's not OKC and it's a new team and it's the Knicks.
Yes.
And then the year after that, it's the Suns. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now it's 9.
Yeah.
Great.
Uh-huh.
Unless you cycle through all 30.
Yes.
I don't know.
The what's good for the league versus what's good for the. So I love the parity. I also loved the fact that it was Indiana and OKC, but I also can admit neither of those are good for the league.
Yeah.
What's good for the league are dynasties. People love to either watch and root for the dynasty or watch and I think even more root against the dynasty.
Yeah. So if we got OKC Indiana 4 years in a row, like we got
Yeah.
the Cavs Warriors, at what point are you going, okay, I'm tired of this?
Well, what's interesting is I don't know because with the Warriors Cavs, guys like you and I were like, God, I wish it would mix up, but the ratings didn't say that.
Right.
The ratings loved it.
But they also, I would say, had the stars of the game.
Sure.
Where this, I mean, SGA is great.
Yes.
But I don't know if he is a superstar.
Yes.
But I don't know that he does the meter for everybody.
But that's what's fascinating to me, and that's something actually we talked about at length the day after the Thunder won. It's so like we knew LeBron James was going to be a star.
Yeah.
But Michael Jordan, you and I are old enough to remember that he was the dude who stuck his tongue out that could score but didn't do anything else and couldn't win a title, and they'd never be the Celtics or the Pistons.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, that's who he is. We knew Bird and Magic were going to be stars. But it's always funny how, like, players hit the scene, and a lot of them, you're just like, I'm not ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like SGA by all metrics.
Yeah.
And people get really hung up on what I'm about to say, but please listen to me. When you put Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Michael Jordan in the same sentence, it obviously triggers people.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one thing that is factual. This last season for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, this one season alone in a vacuum, you can put up with pretty much any of Jordan's years.
Right.
Talking about scoring, talking about regular season MVP, Eastern Conference MVP, which didn't exist when Jordan, he would have won them all. Finals MVP, everything he did. His team winning 84 games.
Checked all the boxes.
He checked all the. It was a Jordan-esque year, and he's 26. So I don't know, Jason, because on one hand, thinking about the Pacers and the Thunder in your world playing each other 4 years in a row, yeah, that doesn't. But for all we know, 4 years, SGA is the unquestioned face of the league. Tyrese Halliburton's right up there. There's a rivalry. These guys hate each other. By the way, Jalen Williams is a phenomenal interview and a fun guy to watch, and he also is just getting started. Like, for all we know, these are the next guys that are getting anointed, and the Wembanyamas of the world. Like, they're the ones, Stephon Castle. Those are the LeBrons and the Magics and the Jordans and the, not you know what I'm saying, the faces of the league. We just might not be ready. It might just be too early for them.
Yeah, but like, let me see if I put this another way. So next year, let's get the new team thought of another champion. So the Spurs and the Knicks. So neither team has won a title in the 7-year run. Spurs has been a while. The Knicks has been whatever we know, 50 years. But you'd have Brunson. You'd have Wembanyama. You'd have some people that are considered stars of the league. I bet that does. And partly New York maybe makes it unfair. But don't you think that series does amazingly well?
Yes. Because Wembanyama, when I just said that about SGA and all, Wembanyama is one of those, like, Luka was a star the minute he stepped into the league. Yeah. Wembanyama's the same. Anthony Edwards is the same. These are the guys that I think fans want to be the next. SGA doesn't have that, in part because he's so people think he's just boring.
What do we do with a guy like Zion who had that?
Yes.
He's a star.
Yes.
And every time he's played like a star.
If you took SGA out of the picture and you put Zion Williamson on that team, and he was healthy, he was putting up Zion-esque numbers, and OKC won the championship, and Zion won the MVP, Zion Williamson would have.
Zion's the face of the league.
He's the unabashed. He is the undoubted. He just took the mantle from LeBron James. He is next in line. I think I'm in no way. I am in no way comparing their games.
Right.
But I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is closer to Tim Duncan than he is to Kobe or Michael. Or Tim was boring. I love Tim Duncan, but he was a boring personality by trade. His game was Mr. Fundamental. He wasn't going out there talking trash and flying 11 feet above the ground. He wasn't hawking his shoes and doing it. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with any of that. That's part of the game. He was boring. I think SGA is more in that mode. You could argue, God, I don't know, Dirk might be kind of there too. Another player I love, but Dirk wasn't. He didn't have the aura Dirk didn't of a Magic or a Michael or a LeBron or a Kobe. Like that those are just different levels of aura, but that goes obviously they're Hall of Fame superstar best players in the history of the game, but a guy like Tim Duncan is regularly passed up when it comes to these top 10, top 15 lists until you look at his numbers. There's a lot of people out there that think Kevin Garnett was better than Tim Duncan. I love Kevin Garnett, but the numbers don't support it.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. When we come back, the Kings and their draft history. God, we had this every single year, too.
Hey, there's hits.
Yeah.
There's misses.
Yeah. We'll get to that. What's hot, what's not, and streaking coming up as well. Bobby Gerald at 9 a.m. It is draft day coverage wall to wall for you and your Sacramento Kings right here on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are two new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests, Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Looking for family fun, thrilling baseball, and unforgettable memories? Come out to Sutter Health Park and catch the Sacramento River Cats in action. Great games, great food, and great times await. Get your tickets now at rivercats.com.
Xfinity TV is the best way to stream your favorite live sports, giving you an incredible viewing experience. From pregame to postgame, Xfinity gives you the best seat in the house with traditional TV, streaming stats and odds right from your TV.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Carmichael Dave, who's got very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
All right, it's draft day. We're all being very serious. It's professional coverage, wall to wall, right here on Sacktown Sports. So can I take a minute and just bring something up to you, just a social commentary? Real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. I was at the office, I was here yesterday, and then afterwards did some sales stuff and met with a couple people and all that. Anyways, I get in the car, I'm pulling out of the parking lot, and I catch myself in the rearview mirror, right? Booger. Like, dude, seriously? And I'm a tall guy. I have a big nose. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on there. But can we just normalize? Obviously, you got to be friends with the person.
Yeah. Say, hey, your nose is dirty.
You got something in your teeth.
Right.
You got something in your nose.
Yeah. You want to look out for them.
Please tell me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going back through and I'm cycling through everybody I talked to. And I'm like, could they just not pay attention? I mean, it wasn't egregious. It wasn't like the outside of I'm just saying, though, like, you can't tell. There's no alarm system. Which would be great.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblin.
Really? That was great timing. I'm just saying, normalize it. You see, they have a saying in England on the trains. See it, say it, sort it. If you see something, say something. Let the person...
Come on and party tonight.
I'm also trying to stall here because I do not want this segment, but it has to be done. Jason Ross?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you the question that's in the segment.
Okay.
If you could redo one Kings draft, because there's so many answers here. There's no
there really
wrong
are.
one. And I know a lot of people, oh, Luka. That's fine. That's fine if that's your answer over Bagley, but whatever. Heck, at this rate... I know we always say Luka, but maybe you take SGA. Same draft.
Right? I got a really tough one, dude. Because I've wrestled with this question forever. As many of us have. All right. Now, we're just talking from a playing point of view, right?
Sure.
There's a lot of arguments against this, and I realize once I say it, it's going to sound really, really bad. But I just want to take everybody on a ride for a second, okay? It's very difficult for me when you want to talk about draft picks and drafts I could change. And by the way, this assumption here is we had to have a shot at that player. It can't be like, oh, I'd want LeBron James.
Right, because they couldn't have had him, yeah.
I probably wouldn't have drafted Joe Klein.
Oh, wow. You're going way back.
Come with me on this journey for a second. Because this is gonna be a roller coaster journey. Okay. I'm gonna take you back to 1985. All right. Thank you. Patrick Ewing was the number one pick in the draft.
Couldn't get him.
Could not get him. The number two pick out of Oklahoma, the late great future King Wayman Tisdale. Had a wonderful career. Benoit Benjamin, number 3. Xavier McDaniel, number 4.
X-Man.
John Contract, number 5, and the Sacramento Kings out of Arkansas took senior Joe Klein.
Okay.
By the way, none of this any disrespect to Joe Klein.
Yeah.
The very next pick in the draft, Hall of Famer Chris Mullin.
Okay.
The very next player in the draft, All-Star. And my favorite Dan Patrick saying, Detlef Schrempf. The very next player in the draft, future All-Star, Charles Oakley. Then you've got future King Ed Pinckney, Keith Lee, Kenny Green. And then look at who's at number 13.
Who would that be, Dave?
Out of Louisiana Tech,
Oh, why would you take anybody from there?
Karl Malone.
Malone.
I get it.
Probably best.
I get it. And it has to be part of the conversation. Would we as Sacramento Kings fans, would whatever be worth it to know that, well, one of the worst people ever in the NBA played all those years for our team?
Maybe they wouldn't have been one of the worst.
That's
players.
what I'm saying. People, right. Yeah, right.
We don't know.
But
we do.
Oh, we do. Chris knows.
He knows.
Chris.
There's a kid that proves it.
Yeah. Look, I get it. And I know that it's very silly for me to say, well, let's push that aside first. But we're talking basketball.
Yeah.
How much would our history... By the way...
Yeah, all of this changes everything. All of this.
You get Karl Malone, the second leading scorer in NBA history formerly, on the Sacramento Kings with their very first draft pick. And Karl Malone wasn't a late bloomer either. Karl Malone was just basically a walking, scoring, double-double, night in, night out, healthy, did his rookie year, 15 points, 9 boards. His next year, 22 points, 10 boards. And then his third year, 27.7 points and 12 boards. By the way, played in all 82. Now, there is an alternate reality, by the way, in which we draft Karl Malone with that pick and then trade him 2 years later for a slab of bacon and a dog, with Joe Axelson running the show.
You just don't know.
But I'm just saying, in this exercise, I feel like the spirit of it is that we're acquiring that player and their career. I would go all the way because the Kings hit with that. Things are different in Sacramento. For all we know, we've got ourselves a whole different history that we're building off of. Maybe we sneak in a championship there. Maybe we don't, but we're certainly right there. I mean, yes, it's Karl Malone. But I think we get so caught up in the Dame Lillards and the Kawhi Leonards of the world, which may or may not be on your list. I would say Karl Malone's the one that gives me the most thought.
That's interesting. I'm impressed that you went that far back. I was looking back at the drafts. I mean, they were so bad from about 2011 on for years and years and years. And I think the one that intrigues me the most, and you said his name, is Dame Lillard.
Yeah.
I think if in 2012, now, granted, they had Tyreek Evans, but they already had DeMarcus Cousins. I think Dame Lillard and DeMarcus would have been really interesting. And I think if you go in on Dame Lillard then, you're probably speeding up the process of moving on from Tyreek, even though he'd won Rookie of the Year 2 years prior. I think you're now building around Dame Lillard and DeMarcus. And then maybe at some point along that road, maybe you move on from DeMarcus. I don't know. Everything changes. But after that, you're certainly probably no longer having to worry about drafting guys like Stauskas and McLemore because you're a better team. And I just think Lillard here with some Bay Area roots, but to hear he was fiercely loyal to Portland. I think he would have been that here as long as he was doing the same kind of things. I think Dame Lillard would have been kind of legendary here, much like he was in Portland.
And it would have been before the Warriors run. Kings could have had a ton of Oakland fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While the Warriors were struggling, or they're just starting to become something, but it was a little before that. It was at the end of your run through 2006. So it wouldn't have been I'm sure they wouldn't have been in the drought for 16 years. Now they probably wouldn't have drafted Fox. Wouldn't have had a chance at Luke, all that other stuff. But it's just different. Now you're drafting different types of players. So, I mean, every move would be changing the whole course of the franchise. But
Jason, would you trade for the Kings to have gotten Damian Lillard back then for the Beam right now? The Beam never exists.
Yes, I would.
I didn't ask you,
Oh,
Dave.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have known.
You already said you were willing to give up your mother earlier, so
that's a good point.
For the Beam or for Lillard?
Well, for basically a title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not just going to give her up for anything.
Got to negotiate.
Need a title, maybe future first. Top 3 protection.
Cash considerations.
Okay, and by the way, because I think I know where people are going to go with this conversation. They always do, and I get it. Should we make like for this conversation? I also think in these conversations there should be an unspoken rule that the player we're referring to has to be within 5 or 10 picks, because you're going to get a lot of Nikola Jokic's.
Right. Well, kind of like I just did. Like we all say Luka, but SGA was what, 11th?
Yes.
And now who's better?
Oh, that's a question. Holy crap.
What?
Knowing what you know now.
Right.
Going back to that draft, do you take Luka or do you take SGA? Going back to that draft, you're the GM. You have a time machine.
Well, you laid it out earlier too. Like Luka, most people were certain was going to be a star, and he's been.
Yes.
SGA is a star.
Yeah.
It took him, he had to get there, but he's a star. And I would say now people say he's a better player.
Yes, I think
I
think most people. I think the answer to that question would descend based on how long you've been watching basketball. I still think there's some people that say Luka, and maybe they're right, but the guy's the reigning MVP and NBA champion.
Yeah, but in the same sentence, Luka got traded this year, and it stunned the world.
Yes.
And the same night as SGA got traded, I don't think it stuns the world.
I agree
people
with
were
you.
surprised.
I totally agree with you.
So
I totally agree with you.
It's a different top of mind thought people between Luka and SGA.
God, by the way, if Vlade had taken Shai Gilgeous-Alexander,
would have been killed for
he
that.
might have been like
Who?
not even fired the next day. Like everybody would have burned down Golden One.
Should have at least taken Bagley.
Right. How do you passed up Bagley? You passed up Luka. You passed up Jaren Jackson Jr. I would have rather had Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that person would have been killed. I mean, figuratively.
When did he go?
The
same
8th,
draft, right?
I think. Was it 8th or 11th? It was somewhere, something like that. My goodness gracious. That's gonna bug me all day long. 11th. Wow.
I mean, if you look at that draft, Ayton, Bagley, Doncic, Jackson Jr., Young, Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter, but Sexton.
It's the best.
Bridges.
It's the best draft since the LeBron Carmelo draft.
Both Bridges, yeah. DiVincenzo's later.
And remember, Mikal Bridges was drafted by the Sixers after going to Villanova and got traded right away. His mom worked for the organization. Guy got traded.
Simons went 24th.
Mm-hmm. Dante DiVincenzo's had a great career. So is Grayson Allen.
Brunson, 33rd.
How about who?
Brunson.
Oh my God, you're right. Mitchell Robinson's having a great career. Gary Trent Jr. These are all second rounders. Bruce Brown. The other Justin Jackson.
Hey, Chimezie Metu.
Yeah. I mean, wow. That is the best draft since the LeBron draft. And when it's all said and done, by the way, that might be better than not now, but that might, I mean, you had Wade, LeBron, Carmelo, many others. This draft, as we take a break on draft day, yet another thing that should go in the book, maybe at the top when it comes to the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings had the number 2 pick in arguably the best draft in the last 20 to 30 years.
And they took the non-Hall
and
of
they
Famer.
took the biggest bust.
The non-All-Star, the non-Hall of Famer.
I don't like it when things crystallize on the air, and then I get down this rabbit hole of depression. We'll take a break. I'm going to go bang my head against something spiky and sharp. When we come back, what's hot, what's not, certainly the Kings draft history, and we'll go streaking after this.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com to join.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for the Employee Pricing Plus sales event?
Anyone can get you employee pricing, but at Hoblet, it's all about the plus that you can only get here. Save up to $13,000 off MSRP on brand new 2025 heavy-duty Ram 2500 and 3500s. We have over 500 new Rams available, so your new Ram is waiting at Hoblet.
Well, how do you like the new heavy-duty trucks?
I love it. I took the new Ram 2500 with the high-output diesel and 8-speed transmission to Tahoe last weekend, and I have to say, I've not had this much fun driving a new truck in a long time. I've been driving diesels for 25 years, and this is easily the most fun, most powerful, and most responsive truck so far.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
13,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 and 3500 Laramie after 4,000 factory rebates and 9,000 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 2,500 select inventory bonus cash and $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. Aid to this net savings. Sample VIN 525043. See dealer for details.
Whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Plus, get free home delivery with most smart beds, limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks.
If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now.
Priority Tax Relief.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Who I say, who
I said,
who is hot?
Christian Moore.
Why does his religion matter, Chris? Move on.
Last night, he had a game-tying home run and hit a walk-off home run with his team trailing and drove in all of his team's runs for the game.
Is that good?
No other player in Major League Baseball history has done all of that in the same game.
That's hot.
I always try to save these because I don't want to steal from Chris. In a supplemental who's hot. In Major League Baseball history, only 2 pitchers have done the following over the first 2 innings of any start, regular postseason or an all-star game. The all-star game matters. Struck out 6, allowed no runs, and struck out 3 former most valuable players. One was Carl Hubble in his famous 1934 all-star game performance. The other was Chase Burns yesterday in his debut.
Who did he go up against? Who's his debut against?
I don't know. Who? Oh, you're asking?
Jason, do you know?
I do.
Who?
Oh,
no, I don't know.
Yeah, if you, I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, is it? Oh, was it? Yeah. Okay. I honestly wasn't.
But Chris, who won the game?
Oh,
the Reds.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So burned you.
Also,
It was great.
also who's hot? Jason, this is something I feel like you and I could do. There's a new Guinness Book of World Records record. It was set by Johan from Japan. Just broke the record for the most pull-ups in 24 hours. Did you see the number?
I have no idea what the number
All right,
is.
Chris, Jason.
So he broke a record, meaning there was already a record?
I'm assuming so.
Is he doing this in 24 hours straight?
Well, no, it's just within a 24-hour period. This gentleman, who is pictured on the YouTube now, did.
Oh my gosh, he goes fast.
Now I don't think he was doing pull-ups for 24 hours straight.
But still.
I imagine there were breaks for this, that, and whatever.
He's gonna watch his kid too.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not trying to say nothing here. It's just kind of, it says it's Johan from Japan. I believe that's a South Korean flag, which could just be a random South Korean flag, but
Or he might be Korean living in Japan.
It says.
I mean, no, that's not edited.
That's a good point. All right. How many did he do? It says from Japan.
He can be from Japan and be
okay. All right, from 24 hours. How many did you do?
8,000.
8,000.
I'm gonna say 9,246.
11,707 pull-ups. Needless to say, by the way, look. I'm just.
How many could you do uninterrupted?
Well, can I have either grip? Because the front ones are harder than the.
Wasn't that what he was doing?
Reverse grip, was
He's
he?
doing front.
God, he was. So that grip, that's the harder one.
Is it?
Yes.
I think I'd rather do this than.
No way, dude. Try it next time. I'm telling you. I mean, maybe it's different
Next
for
time
everybody.
I'm doing pull-ups.
Well, you're all boxing now and whatever. Yeah, I've always had a much easier time doing the reverse grip than the forward grip because I do it all the time. I will say this. We do have similar physiques.
Yeah.
Shirtless.
I see it. He
It's
too has a dirty nose.
It's one of the reasons people don't realize this. One of the reasons Damian Barling started working out was because one time I took my shirt off at the station. He was like, "Oh God,
and he's never.
If I keep doing this, am I gonna look like that?"
That's what he said to me.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, what's your secret?" I said, "You know what, dude? It's just one foot in front of the other. You can do it."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. He looks good. How many could I do uninterrupted?
I mean, like if you went right now, we had a pull-up bar in here.
That grip.
Pick your
okay.
grip.
I think reverse grip uninterrupted.
I just mean consecutive. Like, could you do 5?
I think that might be the number. I'm going to say 4, and I think I could do 2 the other way.
Yeah.
I know what I
need a pull-up bar in here.
I know what I couldn't do.
What?
11,707. I haven't done 11,000 pull-ups in my lifetime.
Oh, no.
10.
I don't know if I've done 200 in my life.
Pull-up, sit-up, push-up. What have you done the most?
Push-up or sit-up?
Yeah.
Sit-up probably. I guess. Yeah, sit-up.
Yeah, sit-up.
I had this toy I bought online. I don't know who has it now.
You bought something online?
I know. It's like this little yellow.
Master?
It's like this yellow. It's this yellow disc, right? That has like a ball on the bottom, so you can like move it forward, backwards, left, and right. And there's this place to put your hands in. And then there's this thing in the middle you put your phone in, right? And there's this app you download. So, like, for example,
a game on your phone you downloaded?
It's a game on your phone you download. So, like, for example, you're like a ship that's trying to go through like hurdles or hoops and stuff and get coins. But the whole point is that you plank. And then while you're planking, you move back and forth left and right. And it's supposed to take your mind off of planking.
Did it work?
Haven't played it yet.
I loaned it to somebody,
Played it once.
and honestly, I don't. Who's not?
Oh yeah, we still got to do that. Your Athletics.
Your Athletics.
Yeah, they were up on the Tigers 4-2 in the third, and they were outscored 0-9 for the rest of the game. Currently in a 3-game losing streak and have won 5 out of their last 10.
Yeah, they're not great. They're just
could be worse. They could have only won 3 out of their last 7 and lost to the Reds twice.
For the 916, the beam is honestly embarrassing for a team as lame as the Kings. It was cool we were a darling of the league, but now it's a gimmick and borders on embarrassing. I don't know. I mean, everybody can feel the way they want to. I don't get that, dude.
It's embarrassing when my team wins. The fans are happy.
You put a beam up and people like, who? Why? Why is that embarrassing? I don't care if they win 15 games. I like the stupid beam. That's neat.
It's neat.
We can walk up and be like, oh, it's embarrassing,
Cubs fans were so embarrassing putting a W flag after a win.
Unless you win a W. Like, shut it. You can't put fruit in your beer. Oh, that car's for girls. It's like the same thing. Come on, man. There's so many things to be upset about. You can be upset about a beam. It's embarrassing. No, what's embarrassing is sucking. I don't care if they light a beam, a fire, a cigarette, or a joint after every game, or all of them together with the beam. I'm more worried about wins and losses.
Coming out of Golden One Center, I don't think it's a win that lights the joint after the game. I think it's every time.
Oh, I got you. Okay. As long as I get one of them hot dogs. I love those. All right, let's go streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking. Well, I was at 0.
Yeah.
Chris at 1.
Yeah.
You at 2.
Yeah.
Trying to get to 3.
Yeah, we are.
For you. You
Yep.
took our Rafael Devers.
Rafael Devers.
4 plate appearances, 1 hit.
Hey,
There you go.
Is he going to end my streak? Nevers.
So you're at 3. I took Jacob Wilson of the West Sacramento Athletics.
Kid.
2 for 3. So I'm at 1. And Chris took the big dumper.
Dumperoo.
Cal Raleigh. 4 plate appearances, 2 hits.
Wow.
Chris
When was
is
the
at
last
2.
time that happened?
So Dave, you're at 3. I'm at 1.
Give me
Chris is at 2.
Buki Mets.
You can't.
Oh, why?
Because he started your streak.
All right. Give me I don't know. You go.
Okay.
I gotta look.
Let me take.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go back to Acuna.
Ronald Acuna Jr. I'll take Hunter Goodman of the Rockies.
Oh,
He's never let me down.
I'll take Aaron Judge.
Bob Gerald's coming up next. Do I have time for JR? No. All right. JR, I'm sorry. We got to break. Oh, we get to break because Bobby Gerald's coming up next. Also, remember that story we started off with, that crap story about that crap fan that said the crap thing? We have an update for you. We'll get to that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Keegan going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it? Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get to your local Toyota dealer because the 4th of July sales event is on. Nothing says summer like the open road. And with these deals, that road trip starts now, not later. Get a low-cost lease on the all-hybrid 51 MPG 2025 Camry or Dynamic RAV4. And meet the all-new 2025 4Runner. The hottest deals of the summer won't last long. Pack your Toyota with your favorite people and get ready to roll. Toyota, let's go places. Offers available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit at 6/30/25.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I had the chance to interview former professional golfer and broadcaster Gary McCord a few years back. He hadn't yet enraged the Green Jackets with his television comments about their revered Georgia golf course. He was welcoming and above all humorous, which is why I recently picked up a copy of his book, Golf for Dummies by Gary McCord, a man possessed by golf's magical allure. This 5th edition will help new golfers learn the basics of the game and bring them, as he writes, from the darkness to the light. The book discusses types of clubs, types of courses, how to hit the ball, and how to keep score. The intent is to help you get the ball to the hole in fewer tries and with better form. You'll even find some basic exercises to get you into golf shape. It's a fun read and will help you get over some of the game's intimidation while getting you ready to visit the golf course on your own or with some friends. I always recommend a good PGA professional to guide you along the way, but Golf for Dummies is a fun way to approach a fun game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Yep. Yep. All right. Bob Gerald's going to join us, or I see he, as a matter of fact, has joined us. I do want to get to this, though, because this is something we talked about earlier. A fan yesterday, we talked about this at the beginning of the show, said something to Kettle Marte from the stands.
Yeah,
awful. And said something about his mother who passed in a car accident in 2017. Kettle Marte was seen crying on the field, being consoled by his manager. That fan has been identified as shockingly a 22-year-old fan, and has been banned indefinitely from the stadium. Very interesting to see what that indefinitely is. Hopefully it's a very, very long time. I'm all for that accountability and feel terrible for Ketel Marte. All right, moving on. No good segue there, except it is draft day.
Yes.
Latest we heard last night, the Kings are being patient. They'd like to move into the first round, but aren't going to force the issue. But here's a guy that we love having on, and I hope loves coming on, from hoopobsession.com. That's hoop and then OBSESSION, hoopobsession.com, to give us his draft takes. The one, the only, Bob Gerald. Good morning, Bobby.
How are you guys?
Great.
How are you, Jason?
I'm good.
I'm good too.
It's draft day. Even though I don't like, Bob, that it's 2 days now.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. No, I prefer the one day. Let's just do it.
They had it nice, clean. It was easy to follow. First round goes quickly. Second round even faster. But anyway, I get it for TV, I guess.
Yeah, last year it was weird. On that second day, they're like in a conference room. It's not even I don't know. It looked like not even like a great ballroom or anything like that. Just like a conference room at the local Hilton or something.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I want to hit you with a couple curveballs before we get into it, because this is stuff we've been talking about on the air before you came on, since it's draft day.
Right.
Bob, you have a time machine. You get to go back to 2018 when the Kings famously picked Marvin Bagley over Luka Doncic.
Mm-hmm.
You're now in the room and you're the general manager, knowing what you know now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take Luka Doncic or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Oh, SGA. I would take SGA.
I put that same poll out a couple breaks ago when we talked about it. It's only been out for about 20 minutes. 318 votes in. 56% of Kings fans would take Luka Doncic.
Wow. Okay.
Which is...
I think it goes back to the stardom thing. I just people have known who Luka is. Yes. They should know who SGA is. I mean, I know they know who he is, but you know what I mean.
Second curveball. Jason's question. Saying, okay, basically same idea, but you can go back and you can change any Kings draft. So you obviously have that one where you could take SGA. Jason, what was
I talked about Lillard, but you went all the way back.
I said, and I know this is complicated for like 900 reasons, Bobby, so I get it before I say it, but I'm not entirely sure I wouldn't not draft Joe Klein and take Karl Malone.
So it's funny you say that. Jason knows. I sent him the last time I was on with you guys last week. I sent Jason a note about that because I was doing some digging in the Sacramento Bee about that 1985 draft.
Yep.
And there's quotes from Phil Johnson and Joe Axelson talking about the Kings getting ready for the draft, and they were saying we need a center. We need a center. And Joe Axelson actually told the Bee the day before the draft, we're going to choose between Detlef Schrempf, Joe Klein, and Karl Malone. And then there's a further quote from Phil Johnson. And maybe Jason still has this handy. I'm not sure. But I think I sent it to you in a Twitter direct message.
Yeah.
Jason. If you could find that quote from Phil Johnson about Karl Malone, it's a classic misread of a talent. And we try to think back to that time though, right, Dave? I mean, he played at Louisiana Tech. They weren't on TV. I mean, do you think, and Phil Johnson was coaching the team all the way till April. Do you think he had even seen Karl Malone play?
I don't, and I mean Joe Axelson and the whole.
I've got the quote, by the way.
Yeah, okay, yeah, bring it.
All right, so it's just the whole thing is about Karl Malone. Behind Tisdale, the mailman is the next best power forward in the draft. He's a sure top 15 pick, and with reason. He came out of nowhere his freshman year, averaging 20.9 points, 10.1 rebounds. Here's the quote. Quote, he's just a big guy, said Johnson of the 6'9", 250 product. He's got an NBA body, but he's not really a great inside player. He's got quick moves, but he's not really a power player. And we lost Dave. Everybody's paid to do this stuff, Bob, and people miss. We know that, but my goodness.
Karl Malone is not a power player.
Not a power player, just muscles on top of muscles.
Not a power player. It says Phil Johnson, the head coach of the Kings.
It's funny that we're talking to Bobby Gerald right now for the following reason, because you and I both do the same thing. Whenever we get into these conversations, it always focuses back to your dad, Bobby, that of all the people in the world, that deserve better. And I know he'd be the first to say, I'm blessed and I'm happy. You know, that's just who he is.
Right.
But of all the people that deserve better and that deserve a championship, it's the G-Man who has seen this from day one. It's like, at some point, do you ever just wonder, like, is there a curse? It just repeats. Is there a curse? Is it something? Did we sell our souls for the relocation? Was the arena built on a burial? I don't know what the hell, man. Maybe we're just cursed.
It could be. It really could be. You know, I'm not sure. And then to get back to your question about, you know, if I could redo one, because I'm with you on Joe Klein. But for me, it would be 2011. I was, you know, doing what I do. My hollow every year, spend way too much time on this and get nothing out of it. But I was high on Kawhi Leonard, and I actually had him third on my draft board that year, and we took Jimmer for that. So
yeah,
the year we took Marvin, actually, you know, full disclosure, I did think it was close, but I did say I would draft Luka. So, you know.
Yeah. By the way, my watch just pinged me. My pulse is at 134. It said, "Are you working out? Do you want us to record your workout?"
Yeah. So
Anyways.
imagine Kawhi and Luka. That wouldn't be a bad couple Hall of Famers to have.
There's a few wins in there.
Couple.
Yeah.
And I know Jason you were the Lillard guy. You saw him play in the Big Sky, and we're trying to tell people.
Yeah. I was a big fan of his. I honestly, now we go back. I mean, I don't want to go crazy and think I didn't see this kind of career, but I thought this guy should be in the NBA. And then he obviously went in the lottery, and the Kings did like him by all reports, but they took Thomas Robinson instead. But my goodness, I didn't know he'd be this good, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's been a few, for sure.
Yeah. It all ends today, though, as the Kings, even if they're drafting in the second round.
I would say tomorrow, Dave. Tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry.
42, right?
I don't even know what the hell. You're right. Yeah. But maybe it's the next Nikola Jokic.
Could be. That's what we're doing.
Well, is there? I mean, honestly, let's assume they don't do a move today to get into the top of the first round. Excuse me, the first round overall. If they are at 42 and stay there with no movement, I mean, I know there's literally players, but would you go, oh, no, there's actually some guys that you think could contribute to the Kings next year?
Yeah, if like Janai Broome from Auburn, one of the really great college players.
Yeah, he had a great season.
He's mocked somewhere around 40, you know, so maybe there's a chance that he could be there. I like the Australian kid, Alex Tui. As a possibility around that area. We can go back to I guess it was Whitey's guy was Markovic, Bogolia Markovic, Amari Williams from Kentucky's another big center that I like a little bit. So yeah, I think there's a chance that there be someone there 42nd. I saw the latest ESPN Jonathan Givony thing, and I don't know how much Givony really gets into the weeds in the second round. But he has Kobe Brea from Kentucky, who's an excellent shooter, mocked to go to the Kings. But, you know, just what we need, another shooting guard, right?
But we don't have enough?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I mean, what do we got? 4 or 5 of them on the roster right now? So,
but are you best player, though, and worry about that later?
100%, you know, because otherwise you do the dumb stuff like you do Joe Klein because, you know, and Joe's a great dude. Like
sure,
I feel bad saying this because he's like a friend of the family. But I think Joe would admit that Detlef Schrempf and Karl Malone had better NBA careers. And so it just, you know, they were drafting for need there. And that's when you get in trouble. You can't draft for need. You got to take the best player available and then figure it out later.
Bobby Gerald joining us from hoopobsession.com. Let's back up for a second. Look at the trades that have been happening. Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Kevin Durant. Now, 2 of those involve the Celtics, and they have cut their bill in almost half by about $250 million dollars. Do you think this is the calm before the storm here? Or let me ask you this. If I don't know, if the craziest offseason was a 10, what do you think this offseason is going to be as far as trades and free agents?
It seems to me like we're off to a pretty good start. So I'm hoping that it's, I'm hoping it's a good 8, a good 7 or 8 or something like that. And hopefully, from my standpoint, I think the Kings have got to move off, a shooting guard. And for me, it would be DeRozan. I don't know what you can get for him. And some people might look at him as a small forward, shooting guard, whatever. But to me, that's where it's got to be. And if not, I think he needs to be like a 6-man or something like that, because he's in my opinion, that was the biggest thing that stifled Keegan Murray's growth last year, was just, not getting enough shots, not being enough of a focal point of the offense. But we'll see. I mean, who knows what Scott Perry has up his sleeve. And I hope that, I've seen some quotes from Scott Perry. We all who, and I use this term loosely around myself, people who do this for the draft, really study it or have spent some time putting their thoughts into it. If you do this, you're going to get some stuff wrong, but hopefully you learn. Scott Perry took Kevin Knox ahead of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in that draft for the Knicks. If you look back at the picks that Scott Perry made for the Kings, I believe, when he was here with the Kings, Justin Jackson went 15th with John Collins still on the board.
Yep.
So there's Harry Giles went 2 picks before Jared Allen, 3 picks before OG Anunoby.
That was Donovan Mitchell that year too, right?
Yep. Donovan Mitchell was, he was. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a couple picks before Justin Jackson. So if the Kings wanted him, they would have had to, instead of picking Fox, they would have had to take Donovan Mitchell. But the point is, hopefully, he's learned some lessons too, and has some good people surrounding him, and they'll get dug in and make a good pick. I do think, I keep hearing all this talk about the Kings getting into the first round or wanting to trade into the first round. And I do think there's value in that 25 to 30 range, according to what I keep seeing from mock drafts. If it's really true that you could get Maxime Renaud from Stanford in that range, if you could get Rasheer Fleming from St. Joseph's in that range, that's something I would be interested in. I think both of those guys are players that will be in the NBA for a long time. And that's the kind of value that this day and age is crying to get, for your team. If you want to be successful, you have to have value, and you need those guys on those rookie contracts that are, especially later in the first round, find someone who can stick on your team. That's a big deal.
So I'd be curious for your perspective on this, Bob, because you've done this for a long time. And again, you can see Bob's rankings at hoopobsession.com, and you've got the past there, what you've ranked, and it's your board. It's not, exclusive to, you're not really copying anyone else's. So what have you learned on that? So like when you've gotten something right, what's kind of been a trait of players, or when you've missed, you go, man, I had that player 23rd and they were probably the 6th best player in this draft. Like, what have you learned in your process of doing this all these years?
Small guards. I have shied away from. I've learned that defense is literally half the game, and you have to consider it. And it's very easy to look at players who are good offensively, especially in college, and some of them that are a little smaller, and think that they're going to, automatically translate to the NBA. And then you find out, again, like we talked about before, the NBA is a league of freaks, with all there's guys with, the average wingspan of a player on a playoff team that's a point guard is 6'7", and a shooting guard is 6'8", a small forward is 6'10". So if you're, a guard or a small forward and you're underneath that, it could be tough for you to play defense. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a bad player in the NBA, but you might, Trae Young's going to fall into that category of guys who, are great offensive players, but probably no matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, they're always going to be challenged at the defensive end. And so defense is literally half the game. So I like to start there. And then, I think accurate shooters who can create their own shot. I mean, it might sound oversimplified, but that's what gets it done in the NBA. It's length, it's shooting, it's decision making. Those are the things that I really.
Bob Gerald joining us from hoopobsession.com. Not to belabor the point or go back, but that seemed a little off to me. We're talking about if you could go back in different drafts. This is one, I'm going to go back. This is one that never, ever, ever, ever gets mentioned, but I actually think it should. I'm going to go back to the conversation we were having. Donovan Mitchell was actually pick number 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Kings had number 10.
Yeah, 5 and 10.
And traded it to the Blazers for 15 and 20, which ended up being Justin Jackson and Harry Giles. Yeah. So the Kings actually did have the opportunity in
had Fox and Mitchell.
Not only to get Fox and Mitchell, but the 11th pick was Malik Monk. Okay, not sexy, but still, imagine that backcourt. The 13th was Mitchell. The 14th was Bam Adebayo.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you had Justin Jackson at 15, John Collins at 19, and then Giles at 20. By the way, Jared Allen at 22. So I'm just saying, they actually did. I'm not saying that's number one, but I feel like the whole trading pick 10 for Giles and Jackson instead of drafting Donovan Mitchell at 3. Imagine a Fox Donovan Mitchell backcourt.
Yeah. That is mind blowing. And thank you for getting me straight on that, because
that
had slipped my mind. So.
I think we blocked it out.
Yeah,
I think understandably so. So if you're Scott Perry and you're looking, and this is Bobby Gerald, I shouldn't say if you're Scott Perry, if you're the general manager of the Kings, because we don't know how Scott's thinking necessarily.
Yeah.
You're looking at this draft. Do you, and obviously it depends, Bobby, on what offers get made, but are you weighing more on we got to get it? We got to get into this first round. We got to draft somebody, or I'm just going to hold my chips and and try to turn this team over. I'm not getting anybody for any realistic value that's going to make a difference, and I really don't care about wins next year. Or are you trying to start building right now, and are you willing to give up future capital to do so?
I don't think so. For what the Kings need, like they need a point guard, and I don't think there's any rookie point guard, and definitely not one in this draft that's going to come in and lead a team of veterans, like the Kings are currently positioned to be. So I don't think this is that draft. As far as a big guy, kind of just reiterate what I just said, that I would be trying to get into the 20s somewhere, and I'm a fan of Maxime Renaud from Stanford. I don't know if you guys have seen the kid play. He's a 7-footer, but I think he can play the 4 as well as the 5. But he could just score. I mean, this guy knows how to play, and not a bad defender at all, but just really gifted as a scorer and defensive rebounder. He's someone that I think is going to be a good player in the NBA for a long time. And if you can get that in the 20s, I think you need to make every effort you possibly can to make that happen. And if it costs you DeMar DeRozan and something, so be it. I mean, you still have Zach LaVine and Keegan Murray. You got plenty of scoring. Malik Monk on this team. That's not where it's at. So nothing's changed from my standpoint as far as that's concerned. I still think they need a modern 2025 center that is a vertical lob threat. That's where I'm at. And then I'd try to slide Sabonis down to the 4. I just think the efficiency upgrade would be huge. You get better defensively. And then you got to go hit free agency or do whatever you do, or make a trade to get a point guard. That would be the route to take. But, I read some stuff about Dennis Schroder, and it's like, Dennis Schroder would be a really nice bench point guard. If he's your bench point guard, I think he's a top tier bench point guard. But as a starter, not for me. Malcolm Brogdon, he's never healthy. And if he is healthy, he's healthy for 3 games, and then he's out for 5. And then I've heard some other stuff about Brogdon from some pretty good sources that say one of the things with him, and whether or not this is true or not, the perception, I think, of other people in the room is that Malcolm needs to be the smartest person in the room. And he's worn out his welcome, I think, at a few different places already because of that. So, and that's part of the intangibles and the semantics and all that you get into. Maybe Doug Christie's such a good communicator and a good enough dude where that wouldn't be an issue with him, but maybe in other locker rooms, it was an issue. So I'm not sure that there's a great answer as far as who's going to be the point guard of this team. You're probably going to have to make a trade. Marcus Smart, he hasn't been healthy, and right. But I do think there's some value still in Marcus Smart as a defender and as the kind of player he is. I think he's the kind of guy that Doug would really appreciate.
Is there, as far as look, under the premise, Bob, that we know everybody's tradable. I mean, there's nobody on this team that you go, you can't trade him. But I guess with that thought behind it, who, based on performance and contract, I guess, who would be the last person you would trade? Like the one you'd try to protect the most?
That's a good question, Jay.
Great question. Hey, you know what? That is a good question. I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably would still say Domas because I believe you could put Domas at the 4, but I seem to be one of the only people in the world who thinks that, because every time I bring it up, it seems to just bounce off of dead air. So, it is what it is. I mean, Keegan, I still see so much potential in Keegan, but it's time to show and prove. It's time to, if it's not happening soon, then it's not going to happen. So at some point, he is what he is. But I think with more offensive opportunities, you could give him a chance. But I mean, Levine, I think you could trade him. I'd want a lot for him, but I think you could trade him. DeRozan, I've already mentioned. I wouldn't be in a hurry to trade Keon Ellis, but I also, if the right deal came along, hey, we're talking about a guy who's, maybe a low tier starter or a bench guy in reality on a good team.
Can't we just send all these freaking guards to like point guard school and see who does the best? And there's our point guard. Why isn't it that simple? Like Keon, Malik, Devin, whoever. You're all going to, remember who is a guy?
Pete Newell.
Pete Newell in Hawaii. Yeah. Can't we get like the Isaiah Thomas point guard school and send him there and see who graduates?
Well, Chris Paul would have he used to have the academy, right? The Chris Paul Point Guard Academy. But yeah, I'm with you. But I think, if you do your research on these point guards, there really haven't been that many guys. Like Eric Bledsoe was one of the few. I think I mentioned Cade Cunningham, like guys who were trending towards being 2 guards that ultimately became point guards. But other than that, I mean, you can see, look at the numbers, look at assist to turnover ratios, look at who they played with, watch them play. Are they leading the team? Are they unselfish? Are they, do they have that capability? Walter Clayton in this draft is an interesting guy because he's definitely more 2 guard than point guard. But when you watch him play, because he's not going to have a choice. If he plays in the NBA, he's going to have to be a point guard.
Right.
And if you watched him play, he shares it enough. I think he's a kind of guy that could probably make that transition. But I'm not so sure about other guys. Like one of the guys who's going to go really early in the lottery that I really like is this kid, Jeremiah Fears.
Yep.
And everyone's saying he's a point guard from Oklahoma. Oh, he barely had more assists than turnovers last year. Now, I understand he's trying to lead this team as an 18-year-old, and he wasn't necessarily playing with the greatest guys, but he's a lot more 2 guard than shooting guard. And there are shooting guards in this draft that had better assist to turnover ratios than he did, including Trey Jones and VJ Edgecombe, who are, basically only being referred to as shooting guards. So who knows what's going to happen? I just know that, it's not 7 rounds anymore. So we don't have to worry about Bruce Jenner getting drafted by Joe Axelson. Did you know that one, Dave?
No.
Oh, that's for real. 1977.
Right. Yep.
Bruce Jenner was drafted in the 7th round by Joe Axelson.
Yep. How about that?
Another fun one was 1973 Dave Winfield, the baseball star, drafted by the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, wasn't Ainge drafted by the Blue Jays?
Yeah. Danny Ainge, another one. And how about Carl Lewis in 1984? Carl Lewis drafted in the 10th round by the Chicago Bulls.
10
That
rounds.
I didn't know.
I didn't know that one either.
Forget that. Yeah,
10
you're really getting picked during a Taco Bell commercial. Bobby Gerald, I should say, hoopobsession.com. I always want to spell it OBSESSION, hoopobsession.com. You hear him on here with us, all kind, just an encyclopedia, if you will, of the draft and of college basketball in general, and all things basketball. Bobby, we appreciate you as always, man. Have a great night tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I've got a name for you, too. He's not going to get drafted, but he could be on a summer league team. Anawanawa. Is that 5 syllables?
That's the, Anawanawa for our lives to be over. That's a hit song from the, I know you're talking about.
Anawanawa Tate Jones from UC San Diego.
Okay. I want, honest
Does that
to God.
fit?
My favorite name. He's going 5 syllables.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was saying for draft.
No. I mean, I like him as a player, but no, I'm going 5 syllables.
Yes, it does. Eugenio Anawanawa.
Yeah.
And
Emiliano. Yeah.
Tate Jones. And then I thought I had one, but my wife called me out on it. It was Marshallonis, because I was Augustus Marshallonis, Sarunas' kid.
Yeah.
But wife says that the U doesn't count. I was trying to break it down by how it looks, like Marcy-U.
But that's also last name. We're going first names only.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
by the way,
Anawanawa.
we're way late for a break. Chris is going to kill me. If you
right.
think of any more 5-syllable names at any time, just please text us. We're here for it.
You guys, happy draft day.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks,
Thank
Bob.
you.
All right.
That's Bobby Gerald. What's on deck? Brought to you by Trex Decking and Railing. Coming up right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by California Sun. I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Wednesday, getting out the door to a comfortable start. As we head through the afternoon, temperatures will start to warm. We'll feel that difference with plenty of sunshine, light southwesterly winds. Highs today expected in the low to mid 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Free wellness, red light therapy, infrared trim pod, cold plunge, halo therapy, massage, cryotherapy, sunbeds, and more. All services all week, all customers free during Wellness Week at California Sun Wellness Spas. No sign-up required. Walk-ins welcome. Free at all California Sun Wellness Spa locations. This week only. CaliforniaSun.com.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Shea Langoliers, out with that strained left oblique, started a hitting progression, and Mark Kotze said that he's making a lot of good progress. Grant Holman, out with that right shoulder rotator cuff tendonitis, felt discomfort in his right shoulder after his outing, and an MRI revealed the tendonitis. At this time, there is no timeline for his return. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock.
Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Just rating 2011 or newer. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metal woods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, there's a real chance of Jacob Wilson starting the All-Star game. As of the start of the A's current trip, he had a 250,000 vote lead at shortstop. Next up, the final vote of the top two finishers. If he wins that, he'll become the first A's shortstop to start the game in 50 years. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is going to be fun.
Yeah! It's time for What's on Deck. Brought to you by Trex Decking and Railing.
Welcome in.
There's nobody there, Jason. What are you pointing at?
Brought to you.
I was pointing at Kyle.
You okay?
Trex Decking and Railing.
Are you guys okay?
Nope. Okay. By the way, from the 916, we have the well actually text of the day. Eugenio is only 4 syllables. Yeah, it's Eugenio.
Is it?
Stupid. That's how he pronounces it.
A?
It's why I remembered it, because it's a fun name to say. Eugenio. Oh, I just made it. The Henio.
You made that 4.
But it's Eugenio.
Eugenio.
Chris?
Eugenio.
That sounds like 4.
Is it Eugenio or Eugenio?
Yeah, if it's Anio. Like Arsenio.
Yeah, it's not Arsenio. That's 4. Yeah, but exactly. It's 4. It's not 3.
Arsenio.
Eugenio Suarez. What was that guy's name? What was that? I love that name. JR.
Oh, that JR?
That JR. That's 2 syllables. JR. And that, by the way, it's spelled Jayare. Good morning. He's been on hold for so long.
It might be one of those things.
I'm glad you're here. Hey,
I stand corrected.
Hey, see, we gave him some time. What's up? Hey, thank you for holding. What's going on?
I'm glad you're into, Dave, I'm glad you're into the reverse grip and not the traditional overhand grip.
Oh, never mind. Just move on.
Jay Ross, so nice to have you back. Yesterday's show was totally off the rails.
It was.
You had CMD complaining about his 2 golf buddies.
Yeah.
That nag and complain about the world.
Gave us a great segment. Eugenio.
Eugenio. And then you had Chris Verlander back there giving up 4 runs in the first, and the callers had to save the show.
Chris Verlander. Great.
Well done.
Hey, serious talk though. Let's talk about the Kings.
Seriously.
What's Vivek's daughter's name?
Okay. Nope. Don't want to do it. Nope. Move on. Not
How much is she worth in a trade? That's all I want to know.
All right. Thank you.
How much for
Okay, I love you. I'm glad you not touching that with. I'm not touching that with the pole that touches the 10-foot pole.
Would it be overhand or underhand?
That's 20 feet of.
Like, if I don't want to touch it, that says something. If I don't want to touch it.
Why do you got to touch it?
Let's get a better call. Hey, Mitch.
Hello?
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
It's
great.
How you doing?
Hey.
I wish I had my service at. Thank God his fries was quicker than that with ordering the food.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. What? What did you just say?
He wished the service with fries comes faster than that.
Oh, okay. I missed it. I do listen to you. I just missed it. It must have been the connection or something. Go ahead.
No, it's me, not you.
Yes.
Sorry.
I got it. It's all right. Go ahead.
Me, not you. Yeah. You buy everywhere. The box is the draft. Somehow we have to trade as many players as we can. I don't believe the Nets are going to use these players or use their draft choice. So they're going to be interested. They have no leverage. I don't think they have leverage. So maybe the possibility would be a little easier to acquire one of these first-round picks. I mean, I wish we had the playbook and how they acquire all these assets. It'd be nice to have, right?
Facebook Marketplace.
Sure. Yeah, that's where you get them.
You know.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you.
That was a better call. You're right.
NBA draft is tonight. That's what's on deck, brought to you by Trex Decking and Railing, who probably is not getting their money's worth this segment. I've done 3 reads for him. I'm trying to help out here. NBA draft tonight, Jason Ross. What is your excitement level from 1 to 10?
My excitement level will go to 10 if when they say the Dallas Mavericks are on the clock and then they just pick Cooper Flag. Don't wait 5 minutes.
Don't wait. Just draft.
Just pick him.
What are you waiting for?
Right. Are people really calling in the 5 minutes going, all right, one last offer. We're going to give you,
How great would that be if they traded him, though?
To the Lakers?
If they traded him.
What if they traded him to the Lakers for Luka?
Oh, my God. That would be so awesome.
He just did it so that the Lakers would get him in shape.
Actually, I don't even know what the world would do.
I don't know.
Who won the trade? They're like, I don't know what just happened.
We got Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic for Cooper Flag. Wait, I'm missing something somehow. If they traded Cooper Flag for Luka Doncic, then yeah. I mean, Luka.
Dallas would be happy, wouldn't they? Do you think Dallas fans would be happy?
Because
right now they're all on Cooper Flag.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let's go back 6 months, and we're like, okay, let's say the Lakers get Cooper Flag. Do you think, Anthony Davis would have to be on there. I'm just saying, 6 months ago, if you said, hey, would you trade Cooper Flag for Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic? I think everybody would be like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God, what if that's how it works out? Nico's like, what up? Just lay it.
Now what?
All right, well, that's probably not going to happen. Giants and Marlins tonight in San Francisco. Giants come off a 1-game losing streak. Need to beat the Marlins. It is a must-win.
Yeah, hit it. I mean,
it's a must-win.
Have to have it.
Do you know that, by the way, every team that has won a Game 7 in the NBA Finals has gone on to win the championship, and that streak kept alive this season? Yeah, how about that?
Highly suspect.
A's versus the Tigers of Detroit. That's in Detroit. So look out for that. We'll have all your draft coverage, by the way, throughout the day and also later today, tonight, and tomorrow morning. I mean, we actually have it all the time, including our we're working on a hotline right now where you can call in and get a hot sports take. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll take a break. When we come back, Crosstalk with Alan Stiles, Celebrity Birthdays with Jason Ross. Brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you Your family and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long, and my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Since 1776, July 4th has been celebrated as the birth of American independence, but has been a federal holiday only since 1941. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. It was a mere 7 years later when the Keys family opened their first Naturewood store in Sacramento, and I guess Northern Californians have been celebrating ever since. We celebrate an incredible selection of furniture brands made right here in America. We celebrate the kind of generous hometown hospitality that was important to Walter Keys in 1948 and continues with the Keys family and the Naturewood Home Furnishing staff today. And we celebrate the kind of quality that's been synonymous with Naturewood for all these 77 years. Look for made-in-America brands like Stickley, Bassett, Stanton, Trailway, Simply Amish, and more during the Naturewood 4th of July sales event. Find the furniture that you will celebrate for years to come. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks.
If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now. Priority Tax Relief.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Christopher Lott. Best flavored almond flavor. No.
Does chocolate covered count?
No. Oh. Come on, man. Don't overthink it. There's only one answer.
There's only one answer?
Yeah.
I like wasabi.
That's the one. Yes.
Huh?
That's one Alan brought in.
Oh.
You know what? You like wasabi over Blue Diamond Smokehouse?
Yeah.
Wow. Of course you do.
Sad that
they're leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandma worked there for over 25 years.
Really? Is that why
and
they're
she
leaving?
worked at the Campbell Soup warehouse too.
Was that down in like? Was that south
Franklin?
of us?
Yeah, in Franklin.
They're just down there churning.
You like it, the soup.
My brother was a security guard there for like a month. We got caught driving forklifts. true story. But man, did we steal a lot of almonds. I mean, statute of limitations.
Oh, not at the soup place.
And I brought in the almonds.
Yeah.
For you to
Dave open and eat?
Well,
they were open.
I brought them in if you hadn't tried them.
Yeah, no. I actually might have some of those at home too.
They're bold.
But since you tried them, then.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, smokehouse almonds to me are the runaway best flavor. Everything's subjective.
It's like pepperoni pizza, though.
Hey, man. Don't overthink it. Like, these are good. Give me a bag, but you put a bag of smokehouse in one hand and a bag of wasabi in the other. I'm smokehouse all day. Then, of course, I had a Who's On First with Kyle. He's like, smokehouse. Well, what's the flavor? Smokehouse. What do you mean? What are they? Smokehouse flavored almonds. But what flavor are they? They're smokehouse. Yeah.
Don't yell. I get in trouble for yelling.
What do you mean you got in trouble for yelling? Describe it.
Yell.
Who said that? A fan? A listener?
Yeah, the line.
Or
streets?
The text line?
Yeah, our line.
Yeah, the text line can eat one. How about that?
Smokehouse?
Yeah, they can just eat one.
Batch.
You know,
Ellen, what do you yell so much? It's not that serious.
Yeah. You know what? Why do you text so much? Shut up.
That's right.
I
didn't say it.
Text line
Please
earlier
listen.
today is you don't fight with the text line like I do.
I never.
I love it.
Never.
I fight with the text line when I'm off.
There's only.
This is a true story. Jason Ross one time. He texted me. He's like, "Hey, can you cool it in the chat?" That's a true story.
Wow.
I think those are my exact
That was
words.
like,
hey, would you mind cooling it with the chat?
No, you said, "Hey, can you cool it in the chat?" I will never forget it because I almost started crying. Jason, I told my wife we were on vacation. We were in Palm Springs. I was like, Jason just kind of yelled at me.
Well, I didn't know.
Think about what he just said there. Listen to that. He had to be told to stop chatting on the listener text line while he was on vacation with his family.
And I'm like, hey, can you cool it?
They were sleeping.
I see. I didn't. Come on.
They were cones.
I mean, I'll look, but
They were sleeping.
I'll look and then Control F.
There's only two people in this entire station's history since the history of the text line that argues with the listeners on the text line.
Who?
And they're sitting right next to
No,
me.
that's not true.
Same guy.
Well, yeah, we are the same guy, but now I can't remember what I was going to say. I was trying to sneak it in.
Hey, can you cool it in the chat, please?
Yeah. But as far as the text line is concerned, that's what it was.
Wait, how come you guys haven't chatted to each other on the show? Like when Alan's doing the show?
Alan's never once had me on his show.
No, I mean, just like you pop in and like
on YouTube.
Oh,
yeah,
on
YouTube.
Pops in
YouTube.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. What I was going to say was because of our giveaway last week with the DeRozan jersey, I don't know if they always have it connected, but I found out that promotions had the text line open downstairs, and I didn't previously know that. I thought it was just in our room.
Oh, that's good to know.
And then I found out,
don't
judge me. It wasn't me, even though I say Dash Allen behind every text. Somebody got a hand to that.
Yeah, so those are good. I agree. Celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Nothing. And I do say nothing says family and friends. More than a nice batch of Crumble Cookies. Smokehouse flavor to be determined.
Sure.
Try some today. Oh my God, they're so amazing. Smokehouse.
Hey, on this date,
Or Crumble.
in what year did the movie Grown Ups come out?
Oh, now that is a classic.
Yes,
that
Alan.
is a classic.
Grown Ups 2 is better though.
What is it? No, come on, Jason.
Alan likes trash though.
What was it, Jason? He's 48 months. That's 4.
See?
Yeah,
Alan gets it.
We get it.
Yeah.
Chris?
Alan's going to get this right.
I don't think so.
I'm going to give him the credit.
Really know. I'm gonna guess 2008.
Oh, that feels late. I watched it a lot, but I don't know. I think I was older than that. I'm going to say, you said 2008. I'm going to say 2012.
That seems close. That's the theme to Bob Ross's Joy of Painting. Why are you playing that?
I wasn't.
Who did? Okay. 2013 is my answer.
Okay. We have a tie. It's 2010.
Ah.
Alan and Chris. How about the movie The Notebook?
What do you want?
Come on.
What do you want?
I don't want your life.
2006.
Yeah. No, that's no. Ooh, yeah. 07.
2009.
Dave's closest, 2004.
Yeah, no.
All right. Happy birthday to Del Curry.
Woohoo! Yeah.
What they say.
Go with a Curry, get a McFlurry. That's what they say.
No, they don't.
Well, you're really sure about that, aren't you? Del Curry's 58.
Come on, Dale. 63.
66.
Alan's close to 61. For Del
Wow.
Curry.
Big Curry fan.
Ricky Gervais.
Now here's Dave's guy.
Yeah.
Definitely Dave's guy.
Dave's definitely getting this.
Are other Dells short for Wardell? Or do you think that's just to him?
Delton. Maybe.
Delroy. Still making those?
Ricky Gervais. My guy. That was your guy.
I see my guy.
He's my
guy. I feel like you like him doing the whole thing he did at the awards.
I get him mixed up with Pierce Morgan.
Okay.
You think?
You think all English people are the same?
You think they all look alike?
Just give him some beans and biscuits.
That's beans and cookies. Richard Gervais is 60.
63.
62.
Alan is close to 64. Clearly Alan's guy.
Clearly Alan.
Happy birthday to Desmond Maine.
Oh, we knew this one was coming.
28.
27.
28.
We have a correct answer. And it goes to Alan Styles, who, by the way, is on fire.
Come on.
All right, we're going to stop that right now.
Okay.
I guarantee you he's not getting this one.
All right, Dave, I'll let you pick with the last two birthdays. You think you can defeat Alan with Matt Schaub, former QB, or Carlos Delgado, former first baseman?
You know what? Let's go baseball to baseball.
He is the hit doctor.
Yeah. Carlos Delgado came up as a catcher. Carlos Delgado.
Alan's on a heater.
Is 63.
So I was playing as him on my PSP. It's a very underrated game.
By the way, whenever I see
Hey,
Carlos,
that's my lunch.
you brought him in here.
And he is mowing.
And I still get a
Even dill
taste.
pickle pretzels.
No, I
I've been here since Truman.
What did you say?
I said 58. Okay, 60.
63?
Yeah.
I know what they say about baseball players, but he was playing on the PSP. I don't think Dave's way off. I'm just going to say 59.
Yeah, I think I went too high.
46.
Wow. Alan's closest.
Come on.
Barely. 53.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one. This is the one he's not going to get.
He's got them all.
He's
Matt
not-
Schaub, quarterback. Former quarterback. Raiders. Texas.
Did
Matt
he start
Schaub.
that playoff?
Yeah.
No.
That was the other.
Matt Schaub's 44.
Cook.
Oh, yeah, Connor Cook. What did you say?
44. Double quattro.
Like Schaub stopped playing a while ago. I'm going to say 47.
To keep Alan off the board. Chris?
What did everybody say?
I said 44. He's 47.
48.
Oh, you guys are gonna like this. We have a correct answer.
No!
Thank you. If you ain't first, last, you're last.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't first, last, you're last.
Go shove it with some hobby.
Draft coverage today?
Man, so much draft coverage
Insight?
and also breakdowns of the team option changes, the player option changes. How does that affect Zach LaVine? And what will the Kings do tonight? Intel that I just got before we hopped on the show right here. Do not move. 4 hours with you. The first segment, 30 minutes straight of commercial-free talk, sports radio. Let's get it.
On the move. Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings back.